Alrighty. Well, hey, we are enjoying our pre-show here tonight so far.
What's happening?
Let me turn the sound up here. At the highest.
Nothing is happening yet. Hi, everybody.
Hey, buddy, how are
But
you?
Daddy,
Good,
Hey.
good.
why is that? What's this?
All right, we got the Mastermind Twitch up. Let's see. Is my personal Twitch going to connect, or are we SOL tonight? Oh, there it goes. All right.
Well, someone in Bangladesh tried to hack into my Twitch yesterday, so.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, hey, did they succeed?
Who knows? I haven't checked.
A couple of years ago, someone from Russia got my Twitch account.
Ooh.
$700 worth of subscriptions to all their
No, really? Okay, all right. Hold on. Going to Twitch.
friends.
I didn't really think about the money.
Which is why do not link your account to anything online like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
I learned that lesson real fast.
I bet. That's why I've got 2FA.
I was really annoyed because they call me if I try to order flowers for my mom on Mother's Day, but they let $700 from Russia go through. I mean,
yeah. At one point, it's just security theater.
Yeah. Well, if they're making money, why would they stop that?
Exactly. But they got to bug you every once in a while to make it look like they're doing their job.
So we're skeleton crew, right?
Yeah, it's a little reduced tonight. No Joe because of work. No Lauren because it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Lauren. We love you. Hope you're having a great. Here, I'm gonna turn this off. Hope you're having a great birthday, Lauren. We love you and we miss you. And by the way, Tarafirith just got totally killed by a bunch of angry hill baboons. So happy birthday!
Look, I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault. It might have been Lorenzo's. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I do have a reputation to maintain.
You do.
Of attempted, actually successful murder of your fellow party members. Yeah, that is a reputation of sorts. I also have a group that's coming in here at 7 o'clock because I'm down at the lobby of the theater. I'm in the lobby tonight because they're going to be in the theater itself. So I'm going to walk away for a minute, see if they're here, and see if I can let them in so I can close all the doors and just focus on game tonight because that'd be nice.
Or we can just talk about Boston the whole time if you want.
Dude, that trip was amazing.
Was it good? It looked good.
I had such a blast. I mean, I literally did nothing except I walked around Emerson. I walked Nate. I went to South Street Diner at 2 o'clock in the morning and had the fried cinnamon roll.
You have to do that.
That was so good. It was so
2
good.
a.m.
Yeah.
What does that do to your stomach eating a fried cinnamon roll at 2
when you're sober, let me tell you, when you're sober
nowadays,
nothing good.
Yeah.
And I was, I've been, I mean, I'm not in rehab or anything, but I've been sober basically for ever since 2000. I don't really drink anymore after I spent a whole semester at the bottom of a bottle, and I was like, I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't like how I feel. So
you've never seen me sober.
Yeah, no, I mean not once. But your photography is still incredible. So
that's right. You've met me in person. That's right.
Yes, that's true.
Online, you've never seen me sober.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Playing D&D. Your spell choices reflect that. No, I should say your creativity. Your creativity reflects that. So
as the night progresses.
As the night progresses. Well, I thought you were just falling asleep. So
there's only once.
Yeah. Well, hey, folks, for those of you who are joining us, I see we've got some folks watching on Facebook and a couple of folks watching on Twitch already. Fantastic. So glad to have you. Dice are going to drop at 7:08 p.m. We start on the Broadway tradition. Broadway starts at 8:08 p.m., but we're going to start at 7:08 p.m. Because
on Broadway.
That's how we roll. So in the meantime, the brutes are all just showing up. We're just hanging out a little bit. So you're welcome to hang out and kick it with us for a little bit here. Hope you're doing well. Say hey in the chat if you can see us. I may or may not have just gotten back from Boston. I don't know where you get that idea. But I will tell you this. When you've got a friend of a friend who is an employee of the Red Sox and they have a 50% off employee discount, I've never dropped money faster in my entire life. I just handed him a stack of cash and was just like, here's my list, and he was like, I'll be right back. 15 minutes later, I had 2 jerseys. I can't even think about everything that I got. It was amazing. But gentleman's name is also Greg. So Greg, thank you very much for the hookup. And Mike Rizzo, my D&D buddy, my friend. Mike, thank you so much for hooking me up with Greg. Can't thank you enough, man. Like, not only is he an awesome guy, but I just the thought of the surprise and everything, I'll tell the story on here a little bit later on, but the surprise that you and Jen put together with this was just awesome, and I can't thank you enough, man. So I know I've said that on Messenger, but I want to acknowledge it here publicly in front of all 3 of our viewers online and my fellow brutes here. So yeah, big ups, big shout out. Yeah. Anyhow, so
now, is the uniform anonymous or a specific player?
This is an Ortiz jersey, so yeah. I've got a. Depending on who you ask, it's either Josh Beckett or Koji Uehara, or right now it would be Kyle Schwarber. I have a number 18 home jersey that I have, but that's also like 3X because it was back from when I was almost 300 pounds. So it's a little big on me now. Now that I'm about 210, 215, depending on how much water I've drank on a particular day. And, that one kind of hangs off of me. So I went to Fenway with the express intent of getting one jersey. I was like, I'm going to get one because these things are like between 150 and $200. But when you can get them for half off, you just got to get 2. So I got this one, and then I got one that is now going to be my official Dodger Stadium jersey. It is a Red Sox home jersey with number 50 on the back, Mookie Betts. So I'm gonna wear my number 50, my Red Sox number 50, when I go to Dodger Stadium to show my love for Mookie, and possibly get stabbed with a screwdriver in the parking lot by Dodgers fans.
I think the opposite. I think you'll get thank yous and high fives, and boy, I think people feel bad for you more than anything else.
I feel bad for me too. But the heartbreak is that you could tell from the interviews and stuff like that, there was no way he was resigning with
right.
There was no there was just no indication whatsoever that he was.
It's the same with Tom Brady. They were asking Belichick, was it like yesterday? Hi, Lauren.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
No,
she snuck in.
Hey,
she snuck in. Hey, there she is.
All my birthday plans fell through. So.
Oh no!
Okay.
We already had you killed by hill baboons.
I killed you off.
Yeah, you're already dead. Shit.
So we're gonna spend the rest of the session rolling up a new character for me? Is that what you're saying?
No, what we
had a funeral plan.
Is do a Brute's Anatomy V2 now.
That's
so
right.
We're gonna have to do the healing episode. Give me a minute. I'm gonna check and see what's going on with my rental real fast and see if they're here yet. Matt, you look like something's either on fire behind you or.
It's great.
That is kind of cool. What is that? Is that a salt lamp? What is that?
The world's most Halloween rave.
Yeah. I think you're muted, buddy.
It's an LED lamp that acts like a torch, and I have it inside of a cracked glass lamp. And
how much do you want for that? Or where can I get one?
The LEDs you can get on Amazon. They're not too bad. I got a set of 4. The lamp I have it in, I've had for a decade. I don't remember where that came from.
Well, I'll have to look around, but that's awesome. I'm gonna have to get me some of that.
It is very cool. Yeah.
Very cool. Paulie's having some trouble getting logged in.
He's not using the new one, I bet.
Yeah. Paul, I put a comment in the thread that had the new link. So, Papa, can you hear me? All right. I will tag you in the comment. Oh, Nate already did.
I'm fast like that.
Yeah. That's why the rogue.
Oh, wow. I'm just now seeing someone post on his page live footage from one of our Fringe performances. I never saw it from the audience's perspective. That's
oh my
really
God,
fun.
somebody did that? That's awesome. I definitely
On Paul's Facebook page, Terrence posted it.
Okay. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hey. All right. I promise I'm going to step away right now and check on if my rental's here yet, because it's 7:01 and they're paying for this time at this point. So let me check on them, but then we'll be back and we'll get rolling. Very excited. I'll be right back.
Wow.
So I don't know if you saw, I did some calculations in terms of we got to sell our valuables to get that 4,500 gold. But I did some calculations in terms of how much we can add of the 500 gold that we got of the half up front for the Tasker Hill fiasco and the loose coin upstairs. But I was trying to remember. I feel like there's a job we didn't get paid for. Like we got paid for rescuing the kids, but then there was either like something with, there was supposed to be, I think besides the bounty on the goblins, I guess it was figuring out where the goblins were coming from that we were supposed to, either that or the were rats that went into that.
Weren't we supposed to stop them from graffitiing everything?
Yeah, because I thought, wasn't there like there was supposed to be compensation on top of the ears?
Oh man.
I think it was finding the Warrens and clearing them out.
I don't even know why we want 4,500 gold. What do we need it for?
What do we want it for?
You never know.
I thought you had a specific reason. There's a thing we need that's expensive.
Well, I mean, I just imagine
magic gear.
Magic gear is gonna be.
No, we don't level up or get magic gear in this group. That's not what we're about. We're about court cases, and tonight, in honor of Lauren's birthday, we're holding a funeral for a character that we killed off in between episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a 3-hour-long funeral.
It's going to be a wake. It's going to be
a lot of paperwork, a lot of taxation updates.
We're gonna play the song she sang in the first episode of Fringe, only really slow, so it sounds like a dirge.
But then is there going to be a reading of the will, and someone is going to show up, and there's going to be a twist?
Well, she only has debts. I'm very concerned about this will.
Debt.
Oh, nice.
No! It's my long lost twin.
With amnesia.
Yes.
Who knows everything I know? I'm writing to her secretly.
It's reverse amnesia. She knows everything.
It's Act 3 of Fear Fest, is what it is.
Oh man, I love it. Well, I'm glad you're with us, Lauren. I was a little nervous seeing all the people not showing up, and I'm like, this is not. You can't rely on me after 2 hours.
Well, I was supposed to be. my brother was supposed to be visiting because he was up in Coeur d'Alene for training, and then he ended up actually having to leave early because his kid has been having a lot of issues with his health. He had RSV a few weeks ago and had to go to the hospital, so he's still having like some breathing stuff. Daycare illnesses are spreading like wildfire here,
I'm sure.
Everyone I know who has a kid in daycare has either had RSV or hand, foot, and mouth, or both.
Brutal.
What is RSV?
So it's like a respiratory virus that little kids get.
It's like a cold, so I'm sure everyone who gets it thinks that they have COVID, right? Like that's terrifying.
Well, and like the reason I didn't do anything today because I was going to actually end up having brunch with a friend, and I didn't do that either because Wes got a fever yesterday, and so I took him to urgent care. He just has a cold. I did get a COVID test just to be on the safe side, but he's already getting better. But I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the world we live in right now. Yeah.
So yeah. So I have my Dangeld. I'm good to go.
Nice. Oh,
There's a wonderful brewery here called Mad Swede, and they have amazing beers. And their golden ale is called Dangeld.
That sounds great.
It is so good.
It sounds good. Oh man.
And it's one of the bars here that does trivia, and they're amazing.
The only time I've ever done trivia, we did it with one of my brother's friends who's like a legitimate super genius. And so we called our team name Not You. So after about 10 questions, it popped up the group winning. And we just all look around and we just point I stood up and said, "Not you!" So that was my contribution to the trivia.
There you go. It's very important.
You were a hype guy.
I was the hype guy. I got the same questions right. He just had entered them before I answered. You know, he's one of those quick on the.
That's awesome.
Not you.
I love it.
I love trivia team names.
We've been doing virtual bar trivia with some of the TU folks for like over a year now. We'll be meeting once a month to play online bar trivia, and the team is me, Jen, my wife, for those of you who don't know her, and then Aaron and Brett, which are our best friends and our other couple, and their last name is Moore, and Jen's and my last name is Crafts, so we are World of More Crafts is our team name.
Wow, and you complain about our puns.
Yeah, I know.
One of my favorite team names is they were called Titanic Swim Team.
That's
love it.
That's
really
dark.
Good.
I love it.
And then there's a lot of like beer ones. There's Don't Worry, Be Hoppy.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
All right.
Love it.
My favorite one that I gave the staff of one of my places the name Just the Tips. Because the staff wanted to play as a team.
Of course. It reminds me. It's one of my favorite dumb jokes of what did the leper say to the prostitute?
Oh, just the tip.
Keep the tip.
Shit.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, if Seth is not present next week, send reinforcements to Death Valley.
Yeah, what's going on with Seth?
Jay Spelt is saying, I don't know.
Hey,
What's? I'm sure he'll be here. Probably give him. I wonder whether tag him in the comment too, just in case he's having trouble logging in.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Seth also always comes in hot at the last second.
I love it. He's like a standard. Well, see, this makes it better. I was gonna say
you know what time that is?
Yep. It's time to let Seth in.
It is time to we got to let the cat back in. The cat's at the door, guys. Cat's at the door. All right.
I was going to say, Seth is like, in true sci-fi awesomeness, which I always love. It's like, oh, man, we're done for. And all of a sudden, from the wings.
Oh, hey, I didn't even hear. Yeah. No,
actually, now that you've let me in, being a cat, I'm actually just going to go right back out. If that's
yeah, in or out, buddy. Make a
classic Seneca.
Right. Yeah, now all he's got to do is fireball his familiar, and it'll just be like the Seneca hat trick.
Well, anyway, of us on the way out.
Yep. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, theys, and gentle thems. My name is Greg. That is Nate. My name is Greg, and I am your Dungeon Master this evening. I may or may not have just gotten back from Boston, where I was last week, instead of playing the game. I don't know where you get that idea. But best city in the world. Loved being there. Loved every second of it. I was also at my personal church, Fenway Park. They beat New York 2 games running, and that was absolutely outstanding. We're not going to talk about how things went this past weekend against the Yankees, but they had a great 2-game series against the Mets, and loved every second of that trip. So my family, who's mostly from New York, is all like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Like, there's seriously a problem." But it's all good. We can all root for who we want to root for. Okay. Anyway,
you've done a fine job losing the accent.
You do your best. But the funny thing is, the minute you get back there, you start talking again just like it. Like, you got Box of Con Harvard Yard. It's wicked piss of hella cool, Pally. Matt knows what I'm talking about, don't you, Matt?
Yeah, guy.
Yeah, guy. Yeah. So anyway, yes, as I mentioned, I am your dungeon master this evening, ladies and gentlemen. All 5 of you that are watching online so far. So glad to have people watching us tonight. Thank you for joining us. I see a few folks in the comments already that are not my players. JS Pelta, pleasure to see you as always. So thank you for joining. Yes, as I mentioned, I'm a professional dungeon master. I haven't mentioned it this week yet, but I'm a professional dungeon master with Mastermind Adventures. You can book me to run a game like this for you, with you and your friends. As a matter of fact, I have as of Friday, I'm starting taking bookings again. That's October 1st. So if you want to book me for a game, I am currently running a West Marches mega dungeon called Secrets of the Barrow Maze. Well, that's the campaign name. The name of the adventure is Barrow Maze Complete. This is old school Renaissance OSR style material. So be ready for unscaled encounters. Be ready for save or death spells. Have like 3 backup characters ready to go because you're probably going to go through them. It's that kind of stuff. And this is a West Marches game. So it's things like open die rolls. All of my dice rolls will be in the open. So I will not fudge it if I crit on you. All right. And the number of times that Roll20 rolls me a crit, it's pretty sick. So, like I said, just be ready for it to be completely random and no saving grace. It is, it's a lot of fun though. And if you can survive long enough to get up a couple of levels, that just makes dying and losing your character that much more painful. So yes, please pay me to run a game like you for this so I can emotionally abuse you. It's going to be awesome. And in the meantime, we are here tonight. I'm Greg. This is the Brute Squad, all hanging out here with me. And we are currently running the Shackled City Adventure Path. This is a classic 3.0, then updated to 3.5 adventure written by Paizo Publishing. It was originally from Dungeon Magazine circa 2000 to 2001. It was republished in this lovely hardcover that you can't find anywhere anymore except the secondary market for like hundreds of dollars. But this has been updated to 3.5. I have done the work to update most of this to 5e, and we are doing our best with that. You find that some things don't convert very easily, but we're having a blast so far, and this is episode 42. 42, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. 42 tonight. So with that, I want to introduce the Brute Squad, and then we're going to pick up right where we left off. So yeah, let's go ahead and start over here with Seth. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey, Greg, you're starting to take bookings again. But what if someone could set up a booking with you and also donate to a good cause at the same time? Wouldn't that be a neat thing to be able to do?
That would be a neat thing. You mean like for DIY girls?
Oh, yeah, something like that. What if you went over here to this link that I just put in the chat to biddingowl.com/auction/index blah, blah, blah. You can actually go and donate to DIY Girls, bid on a session with Dungeon Master Greg. And all proceeds will go to DIY Girls, which helps gets underprivileged girls in LA into STEM fields.
Dude, that's awesome. Now, if it was STEAM fields, it would be even better because I love having the arts in there with science and tech and mathematics, and engineering. But
that's a really great point. And actually, the last time that we were able to do all that stuff in person, one of the things that I taught was an improv class for the girls when they were doing their presentations, because we thought it was very important for them to be able to make their presentations and be well-spoken and confident in what they did, no matter what it was that got thrown at them. So it does actually encompass STEAM things. We don't focus as much on the A, but the A is a quintessential part of the projects that they do.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, I am proud to support DIY Girls, and I'm proud to donate my, a Barrow Maze session as a part of this auction. Okay, Seth, can you do me a favor? Put this in the private chat so I can copy and paste it into the actual chat boxes and not just on the screen, because I want to. Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, so please bid away on this lovely and amazing and awesome package. Bid on Greg's DM game to support DIY Girls. Boom. All right, I'm now taking a second and putting that all in the chat. Are you really going to make me copy and re-say it every time?
Ooh, it's a 4-hour session, Greg. Woo. 4 hours.
Come on, that's nothing. I did. I do have to warm up and get ready for my my annual Halloween special. So that is the and this year there's going to be no cap on the runtime. Either Strahd dies or you die. When no one stops until the bodies are on the ground. But I will be once again running. I think I'll be doing it exactly on Halloween this year, one session only. I'm going to do Strahd Must Die tonight once again, and I'm probably going to do it as a stream. Probably.
Do you know what time that's going to start at?
I got to figure that out. That is those are some very spicy details that I got to get figured out. In full disclosure, I'm actually having a. You should get screened, folks. But I'm having a colonoscopy in the next morning, so I'm going to be checking how everything's going.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! Yeah, All Saints Day. But so I'm.
You gotta set your ghosts free.
I might be we might start early so I can go to bed early because the procedure's at like 6 a.m. or something. So I want to,
That's what happens when you pick Trick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're talking about a lot of butt stuff.
A lot of butt stuff. A lot of butt stuff, Pally. Yeah. Speaking of butt stuff, how you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great. Hello. I am Paul Masterson. I play Sir Feldruucan Vorkrist. And, I've already brought 2 people back from the dead. Let's make it a flippin' hat trick. I feel like Greg tried to really kill the high priest of the Church of Helm, but,
I didn't kill him.
There's
Tongue
a couple.
Eater did.
There's a couple of different ways to bring back even this desiccated head that, seriously though, I don't know. We'll see. We'll poll the team. See, since Brick isn't here, who would just be like, no, maybe we try and bring it back. I don't know.
Feld's brother's a repairman. He's got a wicked set of tools. Like, we can fix this.
Just
is Feld's brother's name Bob?
Well, Boblican might be. He's a cousin.
I see somebody's already working on illustrating my large silver dragon here. So
can't claim credit on that.
Yeah. Oh no. All right. So I'm guessing Nate's the board one tonight then. So.
Well, yeah, but that's here to take care of the bad guys, and apparently drop puns, so that Greg can drop bricks on us. He has actually hurt me several times,
mentally and physically and emotionally.
Yes,
absolutely. So Oh, hey, you know what? One thing that we haven't done in a while, I think, is actually give like a physical description of each of the characters. So I'm gonna let's start with what does Feld look like, and then I'll go back to Seneca real fast, and then we'll continue with the introductions.
Yes. So I am a very big golden scale dragonborn, about 7'2", 345 plus my plate. I'm a blue eyes, golden scales, and I wear big shiny plate. And I am a Oath of Vengeance Paladin who just wants people to be nice to each other. And when you're not, especially if you're hurting kids, I turn into a nightmare and I come and find you.
Yeah, and he has.
I have. So, yeah. About to go on another Oath of Vengeance because clearly, when you rip the head off of a high priest of the Church of Helm, which I'm a paladin of, that means I'm gonna have to come after you.
Maybe just a little, but you guys, you still have a lot of investigating to do around here tonight. So we're going to do CSI Brutes this evening, I think. So CSI Cauldron. But yeah, thank you so much for the physical description there, Feld. Appreciate you. Hey, Seth, let's go ahead and grab Seneca's description real fast, and then we'll pick back up.
I'm a 6'6" long, lanky Tabashi. I have something of a gaunt face, as is characteristic of cats that do not get neutered. Fun fact, look that up. If you see a cat with a long, gaunt face, that means that cat is not neutered, and also male.
We appreciate your a testament of your own virility. Yes, it's very important to establish that. So,
I've got a golden brown fur, and I wear the purple and blue robes of Nobanian, despite not being a cleric. I like the doors that it opens up for me.
Nice style choices, big points there. All righty, sir. Thank you kindly. Hey, Mr. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I am playing Greysoul, who is a half-elf cleric of Leira, and he is a 5'10", fair-skinned, dark-haired, young half-elf at only 18 years old. He's still kind of figuring out his stuff. Yeah, he's trying to figure his stuff out.
That's like 6 in elf years, you know?
Yeah, right. He just got hunted out the door, landed in a little hamlet, and grew up with a bunch of priests of Lyra. Then a lot of bad stuff happened. Now he has people living in his head talking shit all the time.
Yeah, rent free.
I do have a fun computer fact for you. If it's something that's kind of super obvious, I'd be surprised if you didn't know. But if you don't know, as you mentioned, 42 being the answer to everything.
Yep.
In the ASCII language, which is kind of one of the basic programming languages, 42 translates to an asterisk, which is a wild card, which kind of means the meaning of life is whatever you decide it to be.
The more you know. Oh, God, I haven't thought about ASCII.
Love it.
Yeah, follow me on Patreon for more insights into the universe.
I'm filing that away in
Your
my
place
trivia
in
right
it.
now.
Yep. So you are the young half elf, and what does Greysoul look like? Paint me a picture.
He's kind of, well, at 5'10" in this day and age, you might as well be 4 feet as far as dating is concerned, right? Doesn't hit that 6 foot mark like his buddy Feld or Brick. He's got kind of grayish silver eyes, a little bit on the emo side. Not trying to be emo, but he's had a little bit of a rough ride, a little scatterbrained.
You've got the dark side, hair over one eye haircut. Yeah.
He could.
Yeah.
He's got short hair, but the top is longer. He could go one side if he wanted to. He's not there yet, thankfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couple more tragic losses, you know.
A few more, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's in that phase where he might start acting like a Dragonborn, just to kind of mimic his plated heroes here that he met on his first night in Cauldron.
All righty. Well, that'll be interesting. I think the voices in your head will have something to say about that. All right. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Lauren, let's talk to the birthday girl. Happy birthday, darling. Yay. Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Yay. So happy birthday. And you 21 yet or what?
Yes, I am now over 21.
Okay, cool. Well, tell us all about who you are and who you playing.
My name is Lauren. Thank you, Adam, for telling me my hair looks nice. I am playing Tarafirith, the Elven Bard. She is a 5'10" elf. She's, svelte or whatever, with silver hair and green eyes, and 150 years old, I think, is what I put.
Okay. So you've been around the block once or twice. You know what's
up.
But
as an elf, that's still not.
That's still like nothing.
A ton.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. That is
barely reached my peak. Thank you. This is actually a pretty great thing to be doing on my birthday. I'm super excited.
We're so glad to have you join us tonight, darling. Thought you'd be out. But thank you for taking the evening and celebrating with us.
I don't want to go anywhere in Idaho. The hospitals are full.
That's fair.
It's so bad here. It's so bad here.
Pandemic birthdays are the best.
Yeah.
Best.
At least we get to forget about the pandemic tonight. You guys just have to worry about cults, floods, a dead high priest.
Apes?
All preferable.
Yeah.
All preferable.
Yep. to the awful hellscape that some of us live in. Yeah.
But I did recently have to explain D&D and how we do all of this to my parents because they were curious about it, and that was a very long conversation. But I'm going to see if I can get them into a game because I think they'd enjoy it.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey, bid on the DIY Girls package, and I'll run a one-shot for them. So it's for charity. It'll be great. Yeah. So, yep.
That's awesome. A great cause. That's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, let's go ahead and talk to our other remote player, Mr. Birch. How you doing, Adam?
I'm great. I'm just delighted thinking about a 150-year-old hanging out with the knuckleheads that are. I mean, I just found out that Greysoul's 18. I didn't know you were that young. That's crazy.
I keep forgetting how young some of these characters are.
Yeah, because I play a youngin as well. Birch is a
Yeah.
human druid who kind of looks like me, but in more leather. I think I play him as a teenager because then I can get away with all the chaotic nonsense I get into and just say, oh, he's young and experienced and doesn't know better. I think that's kind of the basic vibe that Birch is going for.
Yep. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, 150. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of, I like this question. What kind of leather? Let's
Find out
think
at
about this.
onlybrutes.com.
That's right.
Well, we'll have the we'll have the leather photo shoot up later. So
Birch is definitely a vegetarian like myself. I'd like to think that it's more like it was an animal that was found, or was killed in self-defense. Had to use all the buffalo, that kind of thing,
Yeah,
That's what the armor's out of.
Okay, respect. I get that. All
I'm
right.
now going to call it all the buffalo armor.
All the
Mhm.
All
It's
right.
a thing.
Well, last in introductions tonight, but first in our hearts, Mr. Nate. How you doing, bud?
Good. I'm
That's
the playboy, rich, genius philanthropist, rogue. Oh,
What do you
playboy.
play?
Wait,
none
you're
of those
playing him
things.
as a genius? Wait a minute. When did this start?
I think we have some tactical errors that we need to go back and do some replay on to illustrate your genius, sir. But go right on ahead.
I play Lorenzo Ludo, the rogue, who's an older human, not, I'll say middle-aged-ish, who's looking to make some money.
Love it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And so middle-aged rogue. What do you wear? Paint me a word picture here, real quick. What do you wear?
I started off wearing nice clothes, but they constantly got destroyed with my own blood from various different things killing me. And so now I've moved to a standard black leather armor.
Okay.
Studded leather armor, according to my sheet.
Gotcha. All right. So he's got the sexy black leather number going on. I love it. Stud.
Well, you destroyed all my other clothes.
That may or may not have been by design. Find out at onlybrutes.com. Yeah. All righty. Well, in that case, that's the introductions. That's the Brute Squad. Let's go ahead and get ready to kick some ass here. So who wants to do last week's recap?
You from Boston. 2 weeks ago, though.
2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Last week I was watching the Mets get stomped. Yeah. So
maybe all of us together can figure it out because it's been
Not
a
me.
minute.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, Lauren was not there.
I was pushing the deadline. I'm sorry.
I think I can
Look,
kind of.
let me start it and you finish it because you know the details and I don't. The place where we've been located most of the time is in a flood season of sorts.
Mhm.
And in order to control the water, they have these wands of water control, basically. That's the gist of it. And the very important Church of Helm priestess, yes?
High priest.
High priest. I knew it was close. Didn't show up with the wands, so we're on a search. And we've come to where we think he is, and there's lots of very strange animal activity and lots of dead bodies, and it's not looking good. And then what, Paul?
We found those outside, and then we came inside and we were looking around for a while, and then we kind of stumbled into a bit of a brawl with a bunch of these. Were they more orangutan or what was the
Baboons.
baboons? Baboons.
Led by a were-baboon.
Led by a were-baboon. I just knew that it was big. You said it was sort of like So we had a knockdown, drag out, slaughter. We slaughtered them, but knocked them around. And then we went downstairs and we found the body of the high priest of Helm. And we were about to pull him up from downstairs. We noticed the wands were missing. Birch, meanwhile, when we were going downstairs, was going through gathering the valuables that these baboons had been gathering upstairs that had been kind of sloshed around by his awesome wave, and that just scattered the loot. I
forgot what I did. Oh, so
there was a sign downstairs that said no fire, which we assumed was flammables, but there's some sort of brown fungus down there that somebody knew something about. And apparently when the light hit the door of one of them, there was a scream that was then cut off. So we don't know if we just accidentally got someone killed or whether it's another monster that can fake human sounds. And I think when we left, I basically was carrying the body of the high priest to get him upstairs and just kind of away from there as we figured out kind of what our next steps were. Am I missing anything?
Wow.
Think of?
I think you made up half of that.
There was that spell book that we found that had all those spells for me, so I could learn more spells than just the ones I get.
Greysoul, you found a thing with the handle that, it did something.
We found
like a wizard.
Yes.
It had like a button on it or something.
I found a handle with a button.
Nope.
Yes,
we found a couple of radiant swords that can collapse,
No.
and a radiant pole arm that could collapse.
No.
All
All right, that's it.
I distinctly remember that happening.
Yep. Okay.
It was after we arrived at the inn, but before we showed the baboons essentially what it was like to be Seneca's familiar. In between those two events, we discovered some radiance.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I've gotten hate mail from PETA over that episode with poor Eartha getting fireballed Seneca. So thank you very much for that.
It doesn't take much. You're like, I'm going to eat some beef jerky today, and you're like, oh shoot, hate mail from PETA.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah. And by hate mail, I mean that they didn't send me anything for real, but they would if they knew about it. So
are we still downstairs, or where are we, Greg?
As I mentioned, Nate Lorenzo could barely see in the darkness the sign that said no open flame allowed. No fire beyond this point, precisely is what the sign said. And he used that wisdom as an excuse to ignite his hooded lantern.
Rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, well, when the light from the lantern falls upon, when you're standing there next to this mold, and the light from the lantern, the warmth of that lantern, hits that mold, you blink and suddenly it poof doubles in size. And actually what I need from you, sir, is a con save.
Light the lamp, not the rat. Light the lamp, not the rat.
Okay.
No guarantees.
A 5.
That's
Okay.
out of 5.
You're going to take 5 points of cold damage. As the temperature rapidly drops next to you, you feel the warmth leach from your body, and you actually do see frost try to start covering your extremities. The cold is potent and painful, and beyond this door where the mold is seeping out, you also hear another poof, and as I mentioned before, a scream of pain that is rapidly cut short.
Back up.
Yep.
So me and my lamp are heading back towards the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, your skin, your exposed flesh is beet red and chapped, and you feel you cough up spores that have lodged themselves in your lungs, and you could see them rapidly expanding as they get closer to the lantern that is jangling all about as you go. You're muted.
I'm turning this lamp off.
Okay. You managed to turn the lamp off, and the area once again plunges into darkness. Feld and who else is down there? Seneca, right?
I am still up top. Am I not?
You're still up top. So it's Feld.
I was down there.
Great,
I was
yeah.
with Feld,
Great soul. Yeah.
All right. You guys also need to give me con saves.
Way to go, Lorenzo. Gee whiz.
Okay. Feld, you're going to take 2 points of cold damage, and actually, you're a fire dragon. Do you have cold vulnerability?
I have resistance to fire. My con save was a 17.
I'm aware of that, but
gotcha.
do you have cold vulnerability?
I do not. I just have.
Okay.
I do not have cold.
So you're just going to take 2 cold
fire
damage.
resistance. Yeah.
Yep. And Greysoul, you are also taking 5 points of cold damage, and you feel the temperature plunge, and you actually see, as you exhale, you see your breath frost in front of you, and you even feel like the tip of your nose getting an icicle going. Like that's how cold this is. So
It's like being back in Boston.
It's like living in Dorchester, trying to walk to the T, that mile to the T every day to go to class, and you're trying to walk there without a good winter coat, and you got the wind coming off the water, and it just goes right through you. Yeah, that shit was awful. You never lived out in Harbor Point, did you? Though.
No,
Okay.
I was in the little building all 4 years. I lucked out.
Oh,
on the
lucky
lottery.
you! Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, they when I got quick side aside when I got accepted, they guaranteed me housing 4 years, and they then kicked me out after my freshman year. So junior year I had to spend off campus because sophomore year I did the castle. But yeah, that was like unexpected. Oh,
Third year kicked out too.
I was trying to roll a nature to see if I knew what the heck this was, but clearly I know absolutely nothing about this.
Yep.
Or do I think I know everything about it and it's all wrong?
Well, obviously, you know what? Hold on a second. High or low?
High.
Pick a number between 1 and 30.
Let's go 23.
23. All right. So looking at this, obviously, this is cold causing mold. You've heard of what you remember about this from War College is that you can extinguish it with enough flame.
If only I had my I believe that with my after having just seen what happened. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. It would you have to overwhelm it with flame is the point. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Except I don't have any more fire breath left, but yes.
Ah, damn. Okay, so
yeah.
Actually, it's completely pitch black. It's pitch ass black down here now too.
He's trying to kill us tonight, everybody.
With a 0 on your skill check, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. No, with a 0 on your skill check, you're gonna do something fucking stupid. I'm sorry. So, you don't see it because when the lantern goes out, any light downstairs goes with it. Greysoul did not say anything about having any sort of light source up, so the area is plunged completely into darkness. And don't hear anything except for you feel the cold, you hear things freezing, and you can actually hear the wood next to you warping and swelling as it freezes even further, as the water molecules inside of it freeze and expand even more. So this door that had the mold seeping out all around it is now, the mold's expanded across it and frozen this thing basically solid.
Cool. Well, I think as we said, I've got the body of the high priest and I'm carrying him upstairs. So I think I said it. Yeah.
Cool. You don't want to do any sort of investigation on that scream that you heard?
I tried to do an insight check, but I guess would that be whether trying to figure out, which was a 7, to try and figure out whether or not it was human or not.
It sounded humanoid, yeah.
Because we've encountered, whether it was actually any idea of whether it is or isn't. Because I don't know what this mold is. I haven't encountered this before, but we have encountered monsters thus far that can create human sounds to lure people in.
This sounded pretty legit. Matt, what you rolling?
I'm inciting to see if I can figure out where that scream came from. Is it down here with us in one of the rooms, or can we get out of dodge?
It came from the other side of that door.
With the mold?
Yeah.
And the door's closed currently?
The door looks to be as I mentioned, it's all dark now because the one.
I have dark vision though. I should have some sort of light down here. Yeah.
So as you are looking at this, you can see that the wood is, first off, there's a sheen of frost over the wood and mold around the edges that has rapidly expanded where the torch where the lantern hit it. But you see that the door is basically frozen over. But even before that, it looked like it had been swollen and warped in a way that doesn't look to be natural construction. You can give me an actually with an insight check of 22, you could see that this wood, before the mold hit it, the wood was magically warped. It looks like someone was trying to create. You would think that perhaps somebody was trying to create an impromptu barrier.
Presumably to keep something inside.
Or to keep
Was this the room where the priest was, where he was hung upside down? And it was
no,
not.
there were two rooms on the left, and then this is the door at the very end of the hallway. And it was the start of the hallway where the sign was that says no open flame allowed beyond this point. And what you've realized is that you were in the tavern's cold storage. There was the pantry, there was the cold storage, and you remember that in the cold storage, that's where you found the high priest's body hanging upside down. You also found what looks to be a metal casing about the size of a cooler that had traces of brown mold on it. It looked like there had been a bigger container there on the other side, or there inside of it that was now missing. And now you come to this other doorway that is warped and frozen over because of the mold seeping out around it. And it looks like that the mold is coming, the source of the mold growth is coming from the other side of the door and expanding outward.
Which is also where the scream came from.
On the other side of the door, yes. In whatever room or area that is beyond.
I'll tell Feld that scream came from the mold room. I think they're screwed. That was the mold fat. Is it fast moving mold or just kind of like slowly?
It grew rapidly when exposed to flame, but outside of being next to a source of fire, it has stopped moving. It just radiates freezing cold.
Would it be possible to? Is the door openable, or is it
not right now?
No.
I'm gonna take the body upstairs and try and go to my Druid and my bookish Tabashi and see whether, because this is something that I have not encountered before, and take the body out in reverence and tell the folks what's going on down there.
I want to keep an eye on the door to see if the mold starts to come out. Well,
there might be somebody downstairs. We don't know, but it sounds like we've got. And does it sound like a male voice or a female voice behind the door?
You wouldn't be able to tell. Maybe Greysoul would, based on what you heard from the scream.
Okay.
Yeah. So you go upstairs. You go hauling the body of High Priest Sarsam Delisharn up the stairs. His headless corpse. And
he doesn't have a head. What are you doing, Phil?
And actually, Birch, you found the head in the pile.
Oh no!
In the pile of treasure.
Phil,
so
what
you're
did you
saying
do?
there's a chance?
No.
No.
As I mentioned in the treasure hall thread on.
I'm protecting a holy man's body from being consumed, is what I'm doing.
In the Facebook group, I mentioned that you found the body, or you found the head. The eyes have been gouged out, the tongue is missing, and the skull has been cracked open, and it looks like the brains have been taken, most likely consumed.
This is bad.
Yeah.
Not the work of vegetarians.
No. Most likely a were-baboon.
Can we just Can we just totally nope out?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Nate couldn't handle it. See, I think
is that not Dolores?
Yeah. So, Feld, you bring the body up. Birch, you have.
Yeah, I'm just reading it now. This is bad. Okay.
Yep.
What else is down there besides the body? What are you guys doing?
We don't know whether there is there's a scream right now. It looks like Greysoul is keeping an eye on the door. There's some sort of brown mold that gives off painful cold energy. I don't know what it is. I think I remember something from War College of crushing it with fire, but honestly, I don't really remember other than that.
Did you try that? Did someone have fire?
there's a sign down there that says no open flame. And,
Okay.
We didn't have an open flame down there. Lorenzo had as a hooded lantern down there, and it seemed once the light hit the doorway that it kind of started to swell. But do you know anything about it? I mean, if there's somebody down there, we should try and find out more. Maybe they're defending themselves. If we can find some clues, we need to find these wands.
Okay, Seneca, I'll take an Arcana check, and Birch, you can give me a Nature check.
Okay. You're about to test if my character can figure out what I just did. Okay.
1 and 1.
Oh, very good. Let's see if I can help in your.
Actually, you assist. So you know what, Seneca, give me a second roll with advantage.
You got it, but it's not going to get better than that. I don't know if anybody's seen my rolls before, but they're not very good.
Well, you know that this is
They're both great.
Yeah.
Using it up early.
using it up early. Let's get into some combat, and I will finally annihilate you. No, you recognize that this is actually brown mold. Just from the description of it, you know that this is brown. This is a magical plant. It's literally saps warmth from the things around it. Flame causes it to grow incredibly rapidly, exponentially rapidly in size, and the way to kill it is by freezing it.
So if he had a flame and it made it grow bigger, I'm going to assume we should do the opposite of that. But I don't have any kind of cold spells, guys. That's not a thing I've ever done.
What about radiant energy? Anything like that?
I don't think so, because that's pretty close to fire.
It
Seneca,
received-
do you have the ability to make anything cold?
I would if we decided to rest here for a moment, but not
when you say a moment, you mean like an hour?
Perhaps more like 8.
Oh no! I mean, he's holding a headless body, and I'm looking at a very grotesque head over here. I don't want to sit here for 8 hours.
How rapidly does this expand? Can we fall back and rest?
It'll expand with the. I mean, it's not going to grow any further unless it's exposed to an open flame. But you did hear the scream of somebody down there. And
Can it be hacked apart? Is it vulnerable to silver or magical weapons?
I would think of it more as mold. Has anyone tried to talk to the person who screams yet?
No. I think I'll yell. I'll place the high priest's body down. I'm gonna dash down the stairs and say to convey to Greysoul the information about it's triggered by fire, expands. It's brown mold. It's magical. Have you heard anything from whoever it is behind the door? And that nobody upstairs has the ability to cast anything cold. That it needs to be frozen. And no one seems to have the ability to freeze it.
Have I heard anything else from the other side of the door, Greg?
Negative. All is quiet on the door front.
I report that back to Feld.
Can you try and so that if I'm at the bottom of the stairs, you there behind the door, are you alive? Can you chill this creature, this mold creature?
You hear
Throw on some Netflix.
We hear what, Greg?
Silence.
I'm gonna take the head
Mhm.
and put it by the body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find some sort of cloth in this pile of nonsense over here and cover it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I just didn't want to look at the head anymore.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you do that with the head. Lauren, you actually have rejoined the group at this point. You had disappeared off with Brick for a little bit to go exploring different parts, and you actually missed the whole fight. They fought a were-baboon and a pack of angry hill baboons. So they had a big battle, and that you missed. Brick is also. Yeah.
I'm just looking around, going, "What happened here?"
Yeah, you come down into the kitchen and you see piles of loot everywhere. There's piles of coins and treasure and all kinds of other stuff. There is a roughly soccer ball sized object wrapped in a piece of cloth. and you see Feld dashing back down a staircase underneath the stairs that you're just coming down from upstairs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And Lorenzo, where are you at?
I'm behind everyone else because I cannot do anything unless people want me to rush in and kick down the door.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure why anyone hasn't just tried opening the door yet.
Lauren, do you have any kind of cold spells?
I don't think I do. No, I have control flames, so I could.
Don't. No. Hey, I know you
something
just
like
got
that.
here. Don't do that.
Okay, I have shatter.
So-
That's it. That's not
Okay.
to do with cold. That's
All right. So
thunder.
all I know, fire bad. That's about where we're at.
Okay, I have mage hand. I could mage hand to try to open the door from like a distance.
Better that
Can
than us
anyone,
touch the
what-
mold.
Those cleaning spells, can that clean and destroy this mold?
It's a living
I
creature.
don't have cleaning spells. I'm a bard.
Lauren, you're a lady.
I don't do windows.
Wow.
Wow.
Lauren, I'm feeling a bit peckish.
I do
make
not have a cantrip of make sandwiches, if that's what you're
Just-
asking.
Does anyone know if there's any other way to hurt this brown mold magical creature other than cold?
Maybe we should search in the inn some more. I'd stand to reason if they had this in the basement, they had a way to deal with it if some idiot went in there with flame. I'm not looking at Lorenzo right now.
Give me a round of insight checks.
It's entirely possible that since this is a tavern, they were merely using the brown mold to keep things cold.
All right. So, Greysoul,
Like
you
a-
think
like it's
that
warm?
Like
The
a walk-in freezer, yes.
So the question is, Greysoul, were you more concerned about, getting rid of the mold, or are you more concerned about saving the person on the other side, or finding out who or what is on the other side of that door?
Good question, because I kind of felt like taking care of the mold would be the route to helping the person on the other side of the door.
Well,
So I
looking
guess
at the
figuring out a
door-
way to get the mold under control would be the primary
Well, throwing this at
desire
you,
here.
the mold won't expand if there's no further heat, open flame exposed to it.
So I could safely open the door and it wouldn't come rushing out.
I mean, in theory, you're not certain what is on the other side, but you do know that, other than the fact that there is mold there, because you can feel. I mean, the door is practically frozen over.
All right.
So-
Are there
and
any towels or rags down here I could use to try to open the door without having to touch it?
Sure. Yeah, I will rule that there are. You actually find a butcher's apron in the pantry.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a poisoner's kit.
Yeah.
Does it have citric acid in it?
Citric acid.
Yeah.
What would you use citric? Describe to me what you would use for citric acid for in poison.
I'm assuming it's a caustic substance, maybe like a squirt in people's eyes.
Everyone
Something to
knows
counteract the
orange
bitter flavor.
juice, gasoline, and styrofoam makes napalm.
Oh, I figured that the
Except
citric
orange.
acid would be used because of its tartness to conceal the flavor of any poison that's brewed up, thus making it more effective.
That's true. That'd be a good use for it.
All right. You know what? High or low?
Hi.
Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 40.
30.
Okay. Yeah, you do have some citric acid in there.
Excellent. I'd like to go to the kitchen stores and grab some baking soda.
Okay.
I'm
Sure.
now going to mix the citric acid and baking soda together.
Okay. Are you sciencing this?
I will then add water, which
Okay.
will create an endothermic reaction, making cold.
Okay. How much of this do you have?
Enough.
No, you don't.
Let's just go to the replicator in the corner of the room and make as much as we need.
Well, all right. Well, let's just say that you actually do manage to make a little bit.
How about enough to, like, if there's a hinge on this door or something like that, to make it so it retreats from that area if possible?
Well, as I mentioned, as you guys examine this door, the door looks like it was the subject of a spell, a warp wood spell. So the spell, the door is actually kind of like jammed up in the frame. And then the door has also been frozen over at this point thanks to the expanding brown mold. So you're not going to be able to work the handle and open this the traditional way. The warp wood spell
sounds like a job for a shatter spell.
Yeah, possibly. But you know what? I will give you. I will say that you actually do manage to remove mold around the handle and the hinges, but now you're discovering the fact that the spell has basically wedged the door, the physical object of the door itself, into the stone.
I'm going to yell out.
I tried to science it.
But you know what? Hey, take inspiration for. Hold on a second, Paul. Take inspiration for science.
For 12th grade science class?
Yeah, for 12th grade science class. Okay.
Love it.
Holly, what's up?
No, I'm just yelling out to the group down and above and below, since I imagine I'm on the stairs, so my voice should be able to carry. Does anyone have the ability to create light that isn't from fire? It's darker than the depths down here.
Does Birch not have that? Or is it just produce flame?
I can, Feld. I can create light.
Okay.
So the cleric that's been standing down there the whole time finally decides to cast a light spell. Bink! And
I don't need the light spell.
Yeah,
I can see. Didn't occur to me.
So
Y'all
once
got the weird
that
eyes
light,
you can't see in the
once
dark.
that light spell goes up, I'm gonna go to the door. I'm gonna try and shatter it. I'm gonna try and break it down. Start whacking
So
on
the
it.
light spell, I touch something and it starts to glow. That's how it's going to work. So I guess I'll touch something opposite the door. So ideally, when the door opens, light will kind of shine in and we can see what's going on there.
Okay, so you basically find a nice. There's part of a stone buttress that kind of hangs low to help reinforce the ceiling. So you actually hit that, and that generates light, and it flickers almost like a fluorescent tube, you know. So you kind of have like this cold fluorescent lighting illuminating the space. You can now see the fact that this door is basically completely frozen over, except where the citrus compound has been applied liberally to the door handle and the hinges.
We had opened this door previously, so was the effect of this warp we hadn't?
This is not a door that you've opened previously.
Yeah, I think we've been in two rooms, right? But not this room.
This is the door to the third room.
Okay.
So the mold is not on the other side of this door.
No, the mold looks like it's coming from the other side of this door.
Yeah.
Perhaps I can reduce it.
The door?
No, so I could. Well, I mean, I could definitely reduce the door, but perhaps I could, if we use the shatter spell that you have, Tarafirith, to break the door. Then I can reduce the brown mold, and we can use the remaining parts of your concoction, Lorenzo.
I do want to take a second and celebrate the art here. That is what looks to be a freezing dragon breath from a bloody dragon, and that's what you guys could definitely use right now as a kind of cold spell. But since you don't have that, yeah, I think shatter would be a good start.
I see. I didn't realize that when you said clean, you meant eradicate.
Yes. Oh, so suddenly she does do doors and windows. Okay, cool. So Paul, I know you said you wanted to smash it. You do have somebody with the shatter spell.
Sure. If everyone's down there, I think we say, I'm just yelling. If there's someone behind this door, we need to save them quickly, friends. So
now there's a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
All right. So who wants to come? Lauren, do you go down into the basement and okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I imagine in the interview while she's coming down, I'm going to start just taking a couple whacks at the hinges, basically at the corners, to try and then remove it. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a couple of strength checks.
Okay. Strength checks versus attacks. Sure.
Yep.
It's going to be a 13 and a 21.
So I'll tell you, on the first whack, first off, you can actually see a layer of, that wasn't entirely obvious before, but you see a layer of ice shatter and just crack all across the face of this. Your second blow hammers one of the hinges clean off, and a whole chunk of ice and part of the wood of the door comes away, just like a small panel at the bottom. And you can see brown mold come pouring out. Now, let me give me a reflex save real quick.
So you want that to be a dex, or what's
Yes,
your...
please. A dex save, yeah. Pardon me. I keep talking 3-5 every once in a while.
That is going to be an awesome 5.
All righty.
By the way, am I planning to shatter the door or the mold?
The door is what they're talking about shattering.
Yeah.
So you're gonna you actually feel the cold leech, just you feel warmth just leach out of your body, and you actually take another 7 points of subdual damage.
Okay.
Subdual cold damage. All right. And you jump back, and at this point you go, or you open up the hallway as you pull back a frozen or a frost covered limb, and indicate to Tara, all right.
Tara, if you can bring it down, we think there's someone still in there.
Okay. So from as far back in the room as I can be from the door and still see it, maybe is like on the steps.
This hallway isn't terribly long, so I think you got about like 30 feet from the stairs.
We have a map for that,
Okay.
don't we, Greg?
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on a second.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you come down, it's actually, wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's 50 feet from the stairs to the door. And let me actually.
Okay, so this is a non-magical. So the door itself is not magical, correct?
The door itself is not magical. That is correct.
Okay, so the door does not have to make a Constitution saving throw. It just takes the damage.
Yep.
If it's in the area.
That is correct.
Okay. Oh, I see.
All right. So Tara, and what is the range on this spell?
I don't have a visual. Shatter. So we're going to
What's the
do
range on Shatter?
10 feet. Sorry, I have a 60-foot range, and that's a radius of 10.
Okay, you can actually hit it from the base of the stairs. You can actually. Is it a cone or is it a line?
It's a sphere.
Oh, it's a sphere. Oh, yeah. It's a sphere.
So it'll concentrate on the door.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm going to yell, if you're standing behind the door, step back 10 feet.
We don't know what. Okay. But,
all right.
But wouldn't you want to?
You said there might be someone to rescue. I don't want to murder them.
That's why I'm saying not having it centered on the door in case they're right behind the door and potentially frozen.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so I'm going to plant the spell so that the door is on the edge of the sphere.
Yeah, I think we back away from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Casting at second level.
All right.
9 points of damage.
So the spell goes off, and you hear this loud, thunderous clap, and with the sound of the thunder, you almost immediately also hear ice shattering and wood splintering, and the door blows apart to splinters. Also, mold goes everywhere, just kind of like spreads out. Yeah, spreads out all over the place. Where are you guys right now in comparison to this door?
Apparently, I'm upstairs away from everyone because that's the map that I'm on.
Oh,
I'm not seeing the map.
I think I'm still upstairs too.
Oh yeah. All right. So
I don't have a visual.
Hold on a second. I have you guys. We're gonna put you guys.
Yeah, I'm still in black. I imagine I'm a little bit outside of the range of Tara's spell. I'm ready to dash in and grab anybody who needs to be pulled out.
Yeah, and hold on 1 second because I'm wondering what the hell's going on, and I'm actually manipulating the GM map, not the other map. Oh yeah. Why is this? Oh, because I'm on the wrong. I'm on the wrong
layer.
map right now. I'm on the wrong layer. Yeah, I went to the upstairs map where I had a Seneca token because he was running around like an idiot. With him and
How
him and
dare
his,
you,
I
sir?
am the
Like a
world's fastest
brave
bot.
explorer?
Yeah. I call those brave explorers snacks.
Well, Dragthar
Organ
did.
donors.
Yeah, organ donors. Yeah, those two. All right, so we are down here right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so the door is right over here. And Birch, we're going to get you out of the way because I'm assuming that you were not there for this. I also have everybody else over here, and you don't have the spiritual weapon up right now, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Yeah, so hold on 1 second. Spiritual weapon deleted. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming that you guys took cover, and we'll say that you walked into. This is the walked-in freezer over here where you guys are. I'm assuming that you guys took cover. Birch, you probably took cover as well. Tarafirith fires the spell off, and the door blows open. Light spills into this room. And what you find, the temperature of this room is near freezing. There's a thin layer of frost that coats the floor and the walls of the northern portion of the room. A low circular well sits in the center of the room, its mouth partially covered by a few planks of wood. You also see mold on the ground around it. And who's heading into the room or heading close to it?
I'm going to use Mage Hand to try and scoop up the mold that's far away from me and try and move it back into the room. And I want to see what happens when I do that.
All right, so you actually take your Mage Hand and you're starting to push the mold back. Now, this mold has expanded all over the 10 feet. You know, this whole 10-foot by 10-foot area is now covered in mold that looks like it rapidly expanded. Let me find. I find that I get distracted the minute we get a shape. We get this going. So yeah, this black box right here. Select this black box now represents where the mold is. You do see, for those of you who get close, is anybody peering through the doorway?
I'm near to the doorway, just outside the range of the spell.
Yes, I'm looking in from where I am.
Okay.
I guess.
You don't see anything other than mold, splinters and mold, Lauren, where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
How far into the room does the light go?
The light looks like it basically. Oh, hold on a second. Whoops. The light, if the light source is here, that's about what it looks like. So you see a shattered door and mold in this general area is what you see so far.
Can anyone see anyone inside? Any of you who can see in the dark?
Can I kind of peek around the corner to get a better vantage of the room without actually going in?
Sure, give me a con save. All right, you actually do manage to shake off the worst of the worst of the cold. You're going to take only 5 points of damage right now, subdual from the cold. But as you peek in, I will tell you that you do see what looks to be a pair of humanoid legs with frost on them sticking out from behind the well. The figure is prone and looks to be face down.
Can I get in there and drag him out without interacting with the brown mold?
I will say that if you move really quickly, I will give you advantage on a well, let's call it a dex save to avoid further to reduce damage. Okay.
Quick idea. I'm gonna put a rope around my waist and hand it to Feld so he can pull me out should things go sideways.
Okay.
I see exactly what he's thinking, and I do so.
Cool. All right.
And I'll dart in there and grab the feet, and
Okay, give me a strength check.
I'm the wrong person for this job.
I know. I love it. Okay, you actually start pulling at this figure, and it looks like you move them about 5 feet. You're going to be dragging them directly through this mold if you're not careful. And give me your dex save real fast.
Can we see this happening from where we are?
No, you guys cannot. He has what you saw is Greysoul go diving into the room, and unless you want to start moving towards there, what you see is what I'm telling you, which is you see a bunch of mold on the door, a bunch of mold in the shattered doorway.
Greysoul, what do you see?
Yeah. All right.
I see feet, Seneca.
Greysoul, you're going to take 11 damage.
There's someone frozen
damage,
inside.
Seneca.
There's someone inside?
Yes. Feld, pull me out.
I'm going to start pulling him out.
All right, give me a strength check.
Me or Feld?
Feld.
Come on, roll for me. No, don't do this.
Hear me, baby. Hold together.
Reloading it real quick. See if this will fix whatever kerfuffle this is.
Kerfuffles.
Come on. Otherwise, I'll just punch it. Okay, looks like for the moment, I'm going to have to go back to putting in standard.
There was recently an update. If you didn't
22.
That might be causing
Yeah, I was working
trouble.
earlier.
All right, so yeah, you, Feld, you actually do pull. Greysoul, give me another dex save with advantage. All right. You managed to hold on to. You do manage to hold on to the figure, and Paul, you actually do manage to start pulling him out. Greysoul, you are going to take another round of cold damage, though. And you're going to take 5 cold damage as you're getting pulled through it.
Okay.
But you do manage to clear out. How many hit points do you have left?
4.
4 hit points. All right. Well, with that check, you actually successfully managed to get out of there. So
I'm going to take that opportunity then to use Cure Wounds.
Okay. Well, hold on one second. Let me describe that, and then that'll be the first action that goes off. So,
okay.
You hear Greysoul yell for help. Pull me out, pull me out. With a great tug, Feld yoinks, and Greysoul, on the verge of unconsciousness, comes stumbling out, and with him, his hand almost locked in place with frostbite around the ankles, around the boots of this prone figure that is scraping along the floor. And you see a small, lithe figure. You notice as you pull them out, female, shock white hair. And give me perception checks real quick.
You ever notice the stonework in this place, in this basement? It's really impressive.
Well, I will say, Seneca, you notice this. Oh, good God. You guys have been in a restaurant's cold fridge not once has a demon named Gorgon Ramsay called you a donkey. All right. Well, I'm now rewriting this adventure, I see. I need a Gorgon stat block because porting in out of... Damn it, Nate. This was... Yeah. The first thing that you notice, Seneca, is the fact that the black skin of a drow. That is the figure that that Greysoul is pulling out. It looks to be a drow elf. Tara, you actually notice around her neck what looks to be a holy symbol, although you can't quite tell of what yet. But yes, she is basically frozen in place. you could tell frostbite is setting in very rapidly on her, and she is unconscious.
So as soon as she gets close, because I think Tara's further back, and Greysoul is right by me. As soon as she's near me, since I can cast Cure Wounds, I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
Okay, who are you casting it on?
I'm casting it on the Drow, because assuming that he's still up, so
okay.
I'm thinking she's the one closest to death.
Yeah, once they clear the frost, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Greysoul.
So okay. Are you coming up to us? Because that's a touch spell.
Yes.
All right. So we're now like out of range and everything like that. So I'm assuming that once you guys pull her out, you're all rapidly moving away from the freezer. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So with your healing touch, Feld, you hear her inhale sharply. And you can see that, first off, she's not dressed for the cold. She's dressed in what looks to be very casual traveling wear. She doesn't have any heavy cloak or anything like that. Her clothes do show signs of battle damage. They look like there's blood on them, and also tears, and it looks like animals have ripped at her. And she immediately, her eyes fly open, and she grabs herself, and she's shivering as she's still immersed in this freezing, as she's still basically frostbitten. The Cure Wounds is good for healing the immediate damage, but she is still chilled to the bone right now. And she says, help.
Are there any other ones with you in that room?
No.
Then I pick her up and I carry her upstairs.
Okay.
I'm going to hand you my cloak to wrap her in.
All right. She is surprisingly light, and you throw her over your shoulder and bring her upstairs. You bring her up into the tavern itself. You reemerge into the kitchen. What would you like to do at this point?
Well, are we all retreating back upstairs? Right.
You guys tell me.
Well, I'm going upstairs. Yeah, I think the fire is by. So if there's no brown, I'm going to look around to make sure there's no brown mold around that's going to set things going.
No.
If there isn't, or is the fire already going? Was the fire relit?
No, the fire was not relit yet.
Okay. And is there a common area further? We've been through here. Is there a common area with logs, etc.?
Yeah, you're aware of where the common area is. That was where most of the slaughter happened. But but like I mentioned, while there is still broken furniture and blood on the walls and stuff like that, the bodies have been removed, at least, so you can find a clear area by one of the fireplaces.
Yeah, so I think I'll take her further away from here as opposed to the kitchen.
Plenty of kindling, let me tell you.
Yeah, so I'll take her further away from here just in case there's anything in the area. We'll go to one of the fireplaces in the common area, and I'm going to set her down, put the cloak around. I imagine some other folks are coming up, put the cloak, Tara's cloak around her, and get to creating a fire in one of the fireplaces.
Okay.
I can produce flame. That's not a problem.
Cool. All righty. Yep. So, you guys take some of the splintered furniture and other assorted pieces of wood. You set them up in the fireplace, and with that, you produce flame, and it goes right up. Her breathing is ragged, and she still shudders and trembles, even with the cloak around her. You sit her by the fireplace, and you do think that if you're not careful, she could slip back into shock. So you're going to have to take some time to treat her on a medical level here. So do you have a medicine skill check?
I do.
I don't. I'm going to go and try and find some wine and liquor, etc., and bring some stuff to warm her up.
War College first aid. Got it.
I just have a disguise kit. I don't think I think that my cloak is honestly the most helpful thing.
Obviously, Greysoul's going to perform the medical check. While he's doing that, I'm going to have a Bruce Flame on my staff as well, kind of just warming her.
All right. she trembles and looks up at you, and you see her crystal blue eyes lock onto yours, Birch, and she says, "Thank you. I thought I was dead for sure."
I'm going to get close to her, and I'm going to purr in order to help calm her down to perform the help action to assist Greysoul in his medicine check.
Okay. Sure. You know what? Let me make a wisdom save against cuteness. I fail.
Yeah,
So you can proceed.
Who has the icy blue eyes? Her or B? That's what I'm trying to figure
out. The drow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Matt,
rare.
It's my world. So hey, Matt, what do you you can actually roll that medicine check. Yeah.
I didn't get that, Greg. What?
I said you can re-roll that. You can re-roll that medicine check because you're getting help from Seneca.
Rerolled. There we go. That's a good check.
Okay. So yeah, you actually do start administering first aid. You can see that the cold. She was in severe stages of hypothermia, and
I throw my cane to the side, take some painkillers, and declare it's not lupus.
You know,
so
amazing
from Brute's anatomy to just
never lupus.
Never lupus.
Amazing Godo has some really good points. We could shove her inside of any of these dead bodies to warm her up.
Oh God.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Here's what we
That's
do. Here's what we do. We skin the dead baboons. We
the end.
Now it would be really handy.
Go on.
And create baboon fur coats. I mean, that sounds warm. I'm not Cruella de Vil or anything. I'm just saying.
Look, no one thought you were until you said you weren't.
And now you need to have the shock white half hair, and now you gotta.
No, to be really upscale, be baboonberry.
Yeah. When in doubt, pimp that baboon coat out. Yes, thank you, Otto.
And so now we have a thriving side business.
And, I mean, they're already dead, and they attacked you, so it's fair game at that point,
And that's where prestidigitation goes to rapidly curing these skins. Not even how to.
God. All right, what am I?
Don't know.
I don't, guys. Don't make me Google any more murder stuff because, literally, I'm already on a watch list. Okay.
Greysoul.
You're a DM. You're always going to be on a watch list. I'm on a watch list. You're on a watch list.
If I put 5e at the end of the search, it's like, oh, it's okay. He's a dork. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure that at this point, the FBI just thinks 5e is a terrorist organization.
It's fine. He's just world building.
Yeah, exactly. All that stuff, all the accessories I ordered for the snakehead cult, that's just for LARPing, guys. I promise. That's not for anything. It's not for real use. So Matt, yeah, you start administering first aid for frostbite, and you could tell it's going to be a few hours to a few days for her to really be right again. But
do you think a restoration would help, Greysoul?
Do I think a restoration would help, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, it's usually for things like paralysis and but it certainly seems like a trait that I could help with, maybe.
You know what? I will say that lesser restoration in this case, for purposes of plot, well, actually, it's good for blinded, deaf, and paralyzed or poisoned. Let me see what regular restoration does, or greater.
Well, none of us would have greater yet. We haven't leveled up in 57.
Do you have that spell prepared, Birch? I can do a restoration.
I have a lesser restoration for sure.
I mean, cold seems on.
Two lesser restorations make a right restoration.
I agree. That's right. What if we combine our lessers to make a decent? Would you like a mediocre restoration? Because we've got it right.
We already did one of those for Brother Rufus.
By your powers combined, I am decent restoration.
If Greysoul and I hold hands while casting it, it's average.
How about this? I will say that yes, you can actually cure some of the frostbite with a lesser restoration.
At least enough so she can tell us what's going on. I'll cast it, Greysoul.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Save my healing energy.
I put out my hand and I say, "This'll help."
Okay.
And I just touch her on the shoulder and cast it.
So you send healing energy in waves through your hand, which you can actually see radiate into her shoulder, and as if the frost is melting away, you actually see like it just kind of like go all across her, and warmth kind of returns, and she regains lucidity, and she sits there. She kind of slumps in the chair as she does that, and she's clearly exhausted. Okay, this is pretty brilliant. 2 lessers equals mediocre. 4 lessers equals sufficient.
And if you trade in 2 sufficients, you get a large prize, which is really awesome.
Yeah, have a they'll throw in a minor raise dead too while they're at it.
There you go.
So yeah, she kind of slackens and goes limp in the chair. You're afraid that she might have lost consciousness again, but really what she's done is her muscles and joints that had literally been frozen into place are releasing, and she's crumbling in relief. And she just, as if warmth has just flooded back through her from the inside out. She relaxes and looks at you and says, "Thank you. I think you've saved my life."
What is your name?
My name is Shensen. I am a priestess of this place. I've maintained, I suppose, the shrine to Selune.
What happened here?
We were attacked. I was enjoying an evening walk in the twilight. No, pardon me. You guys got there in the evening. I was enjoying an early morning walk before retiring. As you know, I don't like the sun much. Some old habits die hard, I suppose. I was enjoying an early morning walk as the sun was starting to rise, and when I returned, they were there. The apes, the baboons, they were there. They were slaughtering everyone that moved, and they were led by a hulking brute that I'm not certain what he was. My connection to my goddess tells me that he was perhaps a cursed lycanthrope of some variety, but I had never seen one before, but as if he was a were-baboon. And they were also led by a woman, a cruel-looking woman with cropped red hair and facial tattoos, wearing spiked armor. These creatures were obeying their direction. They slaughtered everyone mercilessly, but it was obvious that they were after the high priest. It's as if they knew who he was and what he had with him. Oh gods. They must have gotten the wand.
It would appear so. We need your help to find them.
I don't know what kind of help I can provide. I just met the high priest on his journey to Sasserine 2 months ago, and his return. This was his returning trip. We were passing fellows and colleagues. I've told you what I know. Who are you and where are you from? I forgive me. I don't even. You're not with the monsters, are you?
We are not. They call us.
No, we're here to help. Don't worry about that semi-sociopathic answer.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
While this is going, I grab the body of the what we assume is the were baboon, and kind of drag it out. And
give me a perception check as you do that.
11.
You notice that you almost actually run by the body because it looks like it's smaller than it was. Instead of where you'd stashed this gigantic hulking half baboon creature, now lies a half orc with the same wounds as what you had dealt to the beast.
Ah. Well then, that won't really work.
They call us the Brute Squad.
I come back into the room. Sorry, go on. Okay.
I've heard of you. You rescued children from an orphanage recently, yes? Or
Yes, I am Sir Feldruucan Vorkrist of the Church of Helm. It appears as though the half-orc in the other room may perhaps have been this were-baboon you spoke of. I was going to try and get your confirmation whether this was the one that you saw, but we didn't see a woman with red hair. That is the only one that seems to be missing. Was there...
She was the one in charge. If the wands are gone, I imagine she must have taken them.
Do you recall, think hard, do you recall any talk of returning to a place or battle cries?
I remember escaping downstairs with the high priest. He fought valiantly. We were trying to get to the well to try and find an escape route. We were hoping that perhaps that we could find an underground cavern or something through it. And he sacrificed himself to save me. He fought nobly.
Was that brown, moldy, frosty stuff there when you went in, or?
That was how I drove them off, except then I was trapped. I took the case of brown mold from the freezer and threw it against the door when I when I hid myself in the water supply. My wounds were so great though, and I was very quickly overtaken by the cold. And then when the mold expanded, I thought I was certainly dead. The pain was awful. But thankfully I lost consciousness. I honestly thought that would be the end of me. I didn't have any energy to escape into the well as I'd hoped I could. But if they're gone, then my plan worked. Yeah, if anybody wants to do some insighting, you're more than welcome to. I see that private chat.
Apparently, Greysoul has a crush and is not paying attention.
Oh, is that how you want to play that?
He's 18. It's an exotic lady.
I do think it's sort of funny that every guy in this is like, oh, yeah, I don't know, she's pretty trustworthy. And the one woman in the party
I rolled an
is
18.
an 18.
We're all like, a draw with blue eyes, huh?
Yeah, okay, so Birch, you're into her. Greysoul, yeah, you both are kind of like digging on her, getting lost in her features, let's put it that way. Oh, before I forget, I can actually show you. Gotta look. Otto's giving you guys some pickup lines here. Hold on one second. Let me upload the image that I've got. Yeah. All right. Create handout. Should have done this earlier. I just didn't think about it.
Oh, Otto.
Yeah. Years and years and years of flirtations.
Do I need to tell anyone that it's bad taste to hit on someone that was literally just brought back to life. Like,
All right. Well,
Living in the
Well,
moment. Everyone's
I
like
wasn't-
dislikes different things.
I wasn't sure how Birch felt about her, but I know how I feel about her.
down, boys and girl. Yeah. So here, so
She's
there.
evil, right? Evil, for sure.
Oh, you think she's evil? Okay.
Oh, but in
Not
the
according
best
to the
way.
goddess she's worshiping.
You know how in the 80s bad was good?
Yeah. Well, this is this is who you're looking at right here. So
All right.
all my horny boys.
No.
She's too
All,
Shensen Tesseract.
yeah, you guys
Oh, boy.
you guys are thirst trapping real hard over her, huh? Okay.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
Yeah, Birch, never trust a drow, and Greysoul, you're like, oh, hey, she's hot. Cool. But
Teenage boy, no experience. I'm rolling disadvantage.
yeah,
I find no reason not to trust anyone of
Yep.
drow heritage. Do you have a reason not to trust someone of drow heritage?
Well, only the other elves have that kind of racism going for them. Except Tara, you actually realize very quickly she's telling the legit truth, and you do see that on her shoulder she bears a tattoo of Selyun, as I mentioned before. So you do recognize the fact that she is the god. She worships the goddess of the moon and travel, and of course it would be perfectly logical for her to have to be a priestess at a inn. This is like the perfect place for her to hold church. So yeah, Tara, you can tell that she's telling the truth. Lorenzo, Seneca, you guys are not quite. You're kind of like ambivalent. Yeah. So what? So you were from Cauldron then?
Yes,
We
are
came from Cauldron.
You came from Cauldron. Where are you headed now? Are you going back to Cauldron, or are you going to Sassarine? What?
We're in pursuit of the wands. Where they go, we go.
Right. Well, if you are going back to Cauldron, I wish to join you. I need to contact my associates, fellow Striders of Selyun. I need to report to them that the shrine has been corrupted and that the place has been attacked.
For your safety, I would advise that you come up with us wherever we go. The path from here to Cauldron is treacherous, full of displacer beasts and ravenous baboons.
I would.
You'll be safe with our care.
Absolutely. All right.
Are there tracks or anything around the building to show, like, wait, did he bring the wands here? Did he successfully make it here with the wands?
As I mentioned, on his body, you find a case that looked like it held wands. Yes.
Right. So we need to look for tracks from this building. We need to know where they went.
I think we asked her. You were out walking. This woman in the spiked armor, was she on a mount? Did you see?
She was. All I know is that when I returned, I could hear screams of pain and agony inside, and I ran in to find the baboons savaging anything and everything that moved. They moved at the direction of these, of this woman, and we fought. And I found the high priest. We ran into the kitchen, where we tried to hold our ground. When we were being overcome, we used the stairs downstairs as a choke point and tried to continue to hold the basement just as a choke point for control. Everything else was too wide open. It was very clear and very obvious that all was lost. And the priest shoved me into the water supply and slammed the door.
So no one got past you. And do you know for certain that the high priest had the wands with him?
Yes. I had met with him the night prior when he arrived.
And how many wands were there?
8.
Did he speak anything about this woman? Did he say that he knew her? Did he say that he'd been anything?
He said that it was obvious that they had come for him. And that they clearly knew what he was carrying. But other than that, I think he was just as surprised as we were that anyone would attack. He thought that his mission had been successfully secret. He only shared it with other members of the cloth here.
I think the most likely scenario is that these bandits came from Cauldron. Now, whether or not they plan to go back with the wands or continue to a different town, I'm not sure, but if I was going to make a bet, I would place it on them going back to Cauldron for whatever their nefarious plot is.
Well, that depends. Without the wands, Cauldron is in jeopardy. So if they were following him from Saloon... Sasserine. Yeah. If they were following him from Sasserine, there might be other cities or groups that would be happy to see Cauldron destroyed. I rolled a 22 on a history check. Are there any groups that would be automatically coming after Helm or groups that have been looking for kind of the fall of Cauldron that a flooding of Cauldron would cause, or anything this description jogs?
Considering that you don't have any sort of you don't know of any sort of groups like that off the top of your head, and I know that you rolled a 22, but you don't have any sort of library or records or any elder historians present with you that could provide such information. I will tell you that you have never heard of anything that has looked for the downfall of Cauldron specifically. I will tell you though that these wands are probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
These wands are probably worth a lot of money.
Like how much money
are we
talking?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if their plot could very well be ransom.
Well, yeah, these wands. If the city is actually being threatened right now, which, by the way, the rains have only intensified. The water now comes down in buckets and sheets as you look outside. With lightning flashing and thunder. So yeah, the other thing is if you guys want to do any tracking, forget it. The tracks are washed away at this point if they left, if the fight was over 12 hours ago. Yeah. And as Nate points out, as the water rises, so does the price. The only people that these wands would be worth anything to would be the leaders of Cauldron.
So maybe she's taken it to the Blue Duke?
Or who knows? Maybe she's, you don't know who this person is. I will say that it is a big goddamn chessboard of all the players and characters in play here, and not all of them are. It's not just a binary of good and bad. So.
Well, we've got quite a trek back if we're taking the body.
How far back is Sasserine? How far to Sasserine? How far to Cauldron?
It's a day to Cauldron, and it's about 2 weeks to Sasserine.
Gotcha.
I will also say this, Feld, as you were pulling the body of the half-orc into the room, something kind of tickled your spider sense, or your paladin sense, your smite sense. You felt a pocket of evil radiating, in particular, off of this corpse.
I'm gonna start searching him.
Okay. Under his vest, you find what looks to be a small necklace. Oh, Otto, it's so true. It's so true. We'll leave it for the CSI crew on Tuesday to clean that up. So the you
Should we
find
search for epithelials?
Well, I will say that you have managed to find this. Around his neck is a chain, and at the end of this chain, dangling at the bottom of it, is a triangle, a decent-sized triangle. And give me a religion check.
Does anyone give me some advantage? Or should I possibly have advantage on this?
No, this is a straight religion check. But if Tara, if you want to give him bardic inspiration,
or if anyone has a spare inspiration to combat my,
I did give
No,
one
I
to
gave you bardic inspiration.
I did. Okay, so bardic inspiration. I also gave Lorenzo inspiration earlier.
Yeah.
So, so roll the extra d6 on that.
On that 0 currently.
0.
Oh God, I didn't see that you rolled a 0. I thought that was that 17. I thought that was you.
Nope.
Oh,
I rolled a 1 minus.
Okay, well, I will tell you this. As you look at it, you are incredibly puzzled as you look at this. This symbol does not make any sense to you from a religious perspective. It makes no sense whatsoever. Seneca, what you see, and I'll tell you why it doesn't make any sense to you, Feld. Seneca, what you behold is a triangle, and on it are the symbols of Bane, Cyric, and Vecna. Now, these churches are all churches of evil deities, but they fucking hate each other. So, what the shit are they doing together on what looks to be a holy symbol?
Are these churches, evil churches, represented within Cauldron? Like officially, like do they have like
not openly?
temples? Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, the only churches that maintain a presence in Cauldron are Lathander, Mistra, Kelemvor, Helm, and what was the other one? Ilmater. Those are the only ones that have official presences. And the Church of Mistra and the Church of Kelemvor actually share space, because this seems to be a sub-branch of Mistra, not the main church. More like a
Wicked cult of geometry.
Are they
It's the
at all?
Pythagoreans!
Are these guys at all tied to human sacrifice and Underdark stuff?
Well, I mean, what you know about... Let's
We haven't seen the symbol. I mean, in terms of like any recollection of seeing anything like this from our time.
You could ask the drow.
You have not you have not seen these symbols openly in within Cauldron, and you have not encountered them anywhere else during your adventures.
Let's ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Senshin. Is that her name?
Shensen.
Shensen. If she recognizes the symbol, because she is a religious person, she might know.
The cult of geometry from the terrorist sect Algebra. Oh God, you're awful. All right, so she looks at this and she says, "These are all evil deities, evil churches. You don't see them commonly represented together, though." You don't see these represented together, though. That is actually, let me have her do a religion check.
Yeah, I'm going to ask her if she knows, if there's any places nearby where these cults center.
Well, I don't know of any cults or any churches of this. I'm not aware of any of them in this area, but the cancer of evil deities spread everywhere, I suppose.
It's nighttime, right?
It is now nighttime, yes.
Okay.
And she said that the attack was first thing in the morning, that they attacked at sunrise. Which fits
All right.
with the fact that you saw evidence that people had been dragged from their beds and slaughtered.
Shinzen, do you have any armor of any kind?
I do not fight with armor. It impedes my ability to fight.
I'm going to cast mage armor on her for now.
Okay.
You do currently.
Well, thank you.
It is unlikely that we will be attacked, or that we'll be leaving this evening. While it is urgent, it would be ill-advised for us to travel at night. Do you all concur?
Yes, we need to rest before we go.
Then at the very least, she can have this 8 hours of protection, knowing that if she must wake in the middle of the night because we are attacked again, she has more protection.
Thank you, friend. I sincerely appreciate that. Oh, she's in the other NPC section.
While we continue to chat with her and think about what it is we want to do here, I'm going to go back over to where that shrine is, like I was going to do before. And since we're taking a lot of time, I'm going to go ahead and use prestidigitation to just clean that up. So this is her little home domain, her home temple. It's been defiled. Let's fix it.
Okay. She sees you stumbling off or heading off into her area, and she says, "Friend, what may I ask? What it is that you're?" Oh. Thank you. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate that. Your kindness is. Thank you. And she starts helping, like, pick things up and move, restoring the area. She looks about and she says, I think that the family that even ran this place were all killed as well. I think that there is no one here to keep this inn going. It's strange. The goddess works in mysterious ways. If I'm to move on, then this is one way to express that message. Dave Brutes. Oh my God. You guys are awful. I really wish you guys could share this in the public chats, because some of these are pretty brilliant.
So who has identify?
Yeah, who's got identify?
Who's got ritual? Yeah. So I'm gonna.
All right.
We need to identify as we gather all the things and create an area to rest in. I'm gonna see, we need to identify the items from. I'm gonna attach to my belt the case that had the wands, since these need to get back to Helm, but we don't have them. We need to identify the objects that are on the high priest's body.
Well, I can tell you real quick. First off, give me a religion check with advantage, Feld. And then who's casting identify?
Do you want to do identify on one thing? I'll do identify on another. That way we can get it.
Yeah, we can split it.
Yeah.
8.
Get through twice as fast, because I'm assuming we're doing these as rituals.
Yeah. Yep. So you find a ring, and the ring is a ring of protection. And then you find a periapt on the corpse, and it's a periapt of wisdom. And this also goes with the magical half plate and the magical mace that you had found.
Periapt of wisdom?
Periapt of wisdom, yes.
What is a periapt?
Let's see.
I always thought that a periapt was like a diadem, and
Well,
I'm 100% wrong. It's like a pendant.
It's like a charm or an amulet. Yeah.
Why doesn't it just say necklace?
Because there are other things that are amulets. There are other treasures and magical items that are.
When you call it that, you get +1 to pretension.
Yep, exactly. +1 to pretension. So yes, as the periapt is will enhance a wisdom score. The ring of protection, I want to say, is it a straight AC bonus?
Yeah, it looks like +1 AC and saving throws.
Yeah. What is a periapt of wisdom in 5e? Because as far as I'm aware, that stopped being an item in.
It looks like +2 to wisdom.
In 5e,
wondrous item rare.
when worn and attuned, it raises by +2. You know what? The notes that I had on this were a little different, and it provides a better bonus than just +2. So, do you guys want the +2, or do you want to see what I'm going to do for you?
I think I want to see what you get for all these different items. I think
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the ring of protection is +1 AC and +1 to your saving throws. Who wants the periapt? All right. So Birch.
Who does wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah. I mean, that increases my healing, but
Yeah. And Greysoul. All right. So do you guys want to get a Greysoul?
I'm
not
just
asking
saying
for it, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you
we're
guys
the
are the
two that
users.
benefit from
You
it.
guys are the two wisdom casters. All right.
Well, Birch, if you were going to rate your wisdom, how wise are you?
Very.
Scale
This
of,
would.
On a scale of 1 to 20.
Yeah.
I know I don't come off as the smartest, but I do like to think I'm world wise in a weird way.
It should probably go
like
then
an
to the
18 out
one-
of 20.
It should probably go to the one who needs the boost more.
Oh, I'm sure you're 18 as well, aren't you, Greysoul?
Mm-mm.
What? Why?
I'm a charismatic half-elf.
He's a very sexy boy.
Are you a
What?
wisdom caster who used wisdom as his dump stat?
Oh God.
No. I started as a
definitely-
wisdom
he
caster,
definitely
but I'm going down a charisma casting path, so charisma is my stronger stat.
What? What's your charisma? Wisdom, Greysoul.
16.
16, and then Birch, you're 18. It's going to do Greysoul a lot better. I will say that.
Not if he's casting with charisma.
But does it match his outfit? The main question.
Are you casting with charisma now, or are you casting with wisdom as well?
Because if he's casting
My
with
cleric
wisdom,
stuff remains wisdom based. My warlock Healy stuff is charisma.
He's a Cleric, yeah.
Yeah.
because if you need those charisma bonuses, the pendant better match.
This is right.
That's true.
It could hurt your charisma if it's tacky. You wanna slowly describe it?
I
to
would
us
say
there?
what are we benefited by stronger healing because I get a lot of really good healing bonuses, or do we want more offensive power with Birch?
Right. Well, everything I do is wisdom. That's all I am. I'm not
So
multi-classing like all you weirdos doing all this crazy
in
stuff.
this case, if it's going to go to Birch, we'll rate it the +2.
Oh, I do want to know what else it does, Greysoul.
If it goes to Greysoul, what do we rate it?
Yeah, the truth is these things aren't bound to our souls.
Well, I mean, first of all, also I'll say to them,
it's a periapt of lightsaber blades.
Sorry, Birch, I'm getting dibs now.
Look, this isn't bound to our souls. Why don't you wear it for a day and see how you feel? And maybe if you don't like it, I'll try it on for a while.
Or when you're in battle, your bonus action tossing it back and forth to each other.
That's right. That's right.
We have
This
to
seems fair and balanced.
Though, right?
Yeah, it does require.
Yeah, you have to attune, sadly.
I would actually say, because I often find myself in melee to help out Feld and Brick, maybe you would be better with the wisdom, and then if we don't have another person dying for the protection ring, that would help me when I'm getting beat on. And maybe the armor's going to Feld.
The armor's
like
well
half
below
plate?
mine. The armor's well below my plate.
Wow. Fancy.
Because I think it's a 50. Well, I think because it's what? It's 15.
It's +1 half plate.
Plus, which has what, a dex bonus? Or
Wait, plus
Or does
one
that have-
half plate. Yeah, we talked about this in the loot chat, right?
Yeah, so basically it's AC 16.
yeah, it's below mine.
Yep.
Is that before the plus one?
No, that's with the plus one. AC
Matt,
16.
can you use that?
I can wear heavy armor, and I think it being a 16 and then my shield gives me 2, so that would overall bump me up 1 AC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just light armor, so
18 feels nicer than 17, that's for sure.
Wow.
Okay.
I can definitely use the ring of protection as the frontliner, but
I could
So
also
could
use
Britt,
it.
who is not here. And yeah, I think you guys will have to do a roll off on the ring, maybe.
yeah, whoever rushes in first most often.
he's already below AC of me though. That's the truth. He does 6 half damage on as a barbarian, but
Great. Ooh.
true.
I want to know what else you had planned for this necklace, though. We can't tell from the identify spell what else.
Okay, there's two different versions that I've found. Okay, there's two different conversions, because the thing is, you're right. Periapt of Wisdom does not technically exist in 5th edition. There's 2 versions that I've found. One of them is the +2, and the other one automatically raises your wisdom to a 19 from whatever. So that's what I
So
found.
if Birch has it, it'd be better to rate it a +2.
Yes, is all I'm saying.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because I don't want to fuck my players, you know. Because I'm a kind and generous dungeon master who.
That's
you know,
a lie.
I thought it was because you were married, but I mean, I guess it makes sense too.
Well, you know, you got the long hair and the beard going on, and that just gets me, you know. That's a lie. Fuck you, Paul. So that's cursed +1 half plate, or the cursed ring of protection.
It binds to your skin. You can't take it off.
Did I mention it's the cock ring of protection? So,
well, as we're looking at
you
this,
with like an Ed Hardy tattoo.
yeah, exactly.
Well, then I definitely can't wear it.
as we're doing all this, though, I looked at it and said, of course, friends, while we use this to bring back the body of the high priest, we will need to get dispensation to continue on with these objects, as these were possibly owned by the Church of Helm, as they are on the high priest.
Reroll your religion check with advantage, please, Paul.
Really?
13.
Yeah. Okay. So you finally rolled over a 10. You recognize that mace is actually a symbol of office that belongs to the high priest or high priestess. So that is something that you would not be able to hold on to. But based on everything else, it's kind of fair game at that point. You know.
Yes. Who can forget the religious law, finders keepers?
Yeah.
It's the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. Yeah.
But I think so. Can we mend his? Obviously, we cannot save him, but can we at least mend his head and attach it to his body and make him as presentable as possible for when we travel back with him? I speak aloud to the. Yeah.
I will allow you to effectively super glue his head back on.
Right. I'm talking.
This is not going to allow any sort of fuckery like you.
I'm
like
not. You've
right.
already made it. We're not going to be able to bring him back without like a wish spell.
Cosmetic.
Yeah.
This is for if they want to try and bring him back. That's for acting high priest, Genya, etc., to do with as they see fit.
Yeah.
This is a different situation than just attaching.
Y'all needed your coffee and bacon, you know. So
that is a dirty lie, and I don't appreciate it. How How dare you? So so I think we need to basically, unless we have other things to do, I think we're basically securing a room for a long rest.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys can actually set up watch, and the recommendation is, Shensen recommends that with the place lacking security now, it's best if you all probably stay together. So you do manage to set up basically a nest in what was the center of the tavern.
Can she travel during the day?
Oh yeah, she can travel during the day. She just doesn't like it.
Oh, okay.
Just wear a hood, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And she'll have disadvantage on certain things due to light exposure. But what you find is that she's a little bit more surface acclimated than most drow. So yeah, you guys do set up a nest and set up barriers around with bus tables and chairs and things like that. Who wants to take first watch?
I'm going to cast.
I can take first watch.
Lehman's tiny hut as a ritual with everybody in it, so that way we don't have to.
Okay, done. All right. So Seneca pulls a hold my beer. And you are now encased inside the hut. And the night passes quietly. The only things you could hear through the muffled barrier of the hut is the continuing thunder and rain, and occasionally see flashes of lightning through the ruined windows. The rain has obviously picked up power, and the storms have obviously picked up power, and the rain is coming down in literal buckets at this point. This is tropical torrents coming down, and it shows no sign of letting up.
I'm from Scholt. This is no big deal.
Sure. This looks like a standard summer storm for you, Seneca.
Before we sleep for the night, I'll dispense my healing magic to get everyone who's not full to full.
Okay.
Should have enough to splash around.
Cool.
Well, if we're taking a long rest,
yeah.
Don't really need to.
Well, no sense in.
Do we recover fully on a long rest? I'm not sure how the hit point recovery goes.
Yeah.
We do. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, I will say that the night passes quietly. Then you almost don't realize that it's day because the cloudy darkness of the storms, it only gets marginally lighter the next morning. That would be an excellent in-game question, Nate.
Okay, let me ask. If I missed something, maybe you magical folks can clue me in. But do you think the wands make it rain worse, and we can track where they are by weather?
Can I roll an Arcana check to be able to answer that question?
Yes, you can.
I'll take that deafening silence as that's a great question.
Birch
and Birch and Seneca, you guys recognize the fact that these are wands of control water, not control weather. So, ergo, the water's already got to be on the ground for it to be controlled. This is not the kind of thing that can control storms or clouds or anything like that.
So
this is a good idea.
It was a good idea. No, it was a great question.
After I rested, I cast Find Steed, and so my celestial speaking warhorse will be. It is a celestial creature. For this, it's either celestial, fey, or fiend. For these, so as I level up, I'll be able to get cooler and cooler steeds. But for right now, I'm capped off at a 0.5 CR.
Okay.
I'm getting the steed to carry the body, and to generally have. Not to replace Earl.
No, but Earl is back in Cauldron right now.
Earl's buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask the
Oh, you got him a friend.
priest, a priestess, whether and look around the town to see if there are any other mounts to try and help us get back more rapidly.
All the horses. You guys can check the stables next door, but all the horses ran off in the chaos. And what you find inside instead is actually looks to be a series of, a handful of small dinosaurs that had been chomping on the bodies and had taken shelter into the barn over the night.
And I asked the priestess, are these creatures local to here, or have you seen them before?
Very, very much so. They're scavengers. Disgusting little creatures.
Come the morn, I would like to cast Find Familiar again as part of my thing to change my change Earth's form.
Okay. What form would you like her to take this time?
Tressum, which I need your permission for.
God damn it. How do you spell that? I want to know what the hell I'm looking at.
Tressym. I also linked to it in the private chat.
Magical beast, small winged cat. Okay. Familiars and okay. You know what? I'll allow it until you make me regret it. And once you make me regret it, I'm gonna make you fireballer. So
Oh,
actually,
boy.
you won't. I probably won't even have to wait. You'll probably already do it before me. So,
Yikes! Rude.
Yeah. Facts. So yeah. Yes, you. She take you take your spider form familiar out, and suddenly she morphs and expands into a majestic winged house cat, and she sits in your lap and goes, this is much better. Are you going to use me for target practice again, sir?
I apologize for the previous times in which you've encountered danger.
Times. I would like to note times. Yes.
I do hope that you will be able to use this form to exercise your freedom.
Okay. I'm interested. And of course, it's raining out. Cats hate rain.
That's true.
So you're just trying to make me miserable is what you're telling me. It is my lot in life to suffer. Come along, R2. Greysoul, you are sitting up and you're waking up. Actually, you didn't even sleep that well. You realized pretty quickly that you and Brick both don't sleep much. And out of respect for the close quarters in which you were in with everybody else, you both were very quiet. But it's very obvious that the both of you maybe only got an hour or two of sleep, and you kind of nodded and quietly commiserated with one another as those who are haunted by memories and other things that just do not allow rest to come. So you have another exhausting night. But in the morning, you notice you can't help but have your eyes glued on Shensen as she wakes up and sets about what looks to be doing. It's very interesting. She's got quite the morning routine. First off, she does a number of stretches and calisthenics and throws some kicks and punches and does what look to be some basic forms, almost like a Tai Chi or Kung Fu, some variety of such. But then she also takes some time to meditate, and it looks like she has prayers and rituals that are similar to Birch. As she, sings a quiet praise to the Mother of Night.
Can I make a religion check to know what kind of spells she can cast?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Eh, 16.
16. Dreamweaver. Yeah. 16. Yeah, it looks like that she is actually she's paying tribute to Selyun, but in a non-traditional fashion. It looks like her magic is more divine. It is divine based, but more nature than traditional churchiness. So it looks like she's out of game. Looks like she might be multi-class.
Shenson, I apologize. My companions and I keep seeming to stare at you. Your method of worship is unfamiliar to us and very interesting. I'm curious as to how your studies have gone and what you are able to do in assisting us. If you need only to be protected, that's certainly fine. But if you can contribute, it's helpful for us to know what it is that you can do.
Oh, friend, just because I bear no arms does not mean that I am helpless in combat. I have had quite the past. I was. I know that you mostly see my kind of elf in the Underdark, but I have never known the Underdark. I was born on the surface, and I was raised in a monastery where they taught me the way of hand and foot. And after my time there passed due to differences of opinion, I actually made a bit of a living with a traveling circus for a little while, and then discovered the Striders of Selyun, who the worshippers of the Night Mother. And with them, I learned many powerful magics, and became for lack of a better term, a priestess of hers. But I find my power through nature more so than actual direct divine influence.
So long as you wish to accompany us, I can't imagine that any of our group would turn down your assistance.
Well, thank you. Considering that you thought of me as a liability last night, I certainly appreciate this change of opinion this morning. But then again, I was half frozen and probably delirious, so I will not hold that opinion against you. Greysoul, in your head, you hear, now, son, I have to explain to you about the birds and bees.
Should I say she can hold that opinion against me, Dad?
No, son, you should not.
That seems really cool.
Perhaps no, that is not cool, son. That I think that what we should talk about now more is actually informed consent. That is a much more important conversation to have, and how to not be a simp or an incel. Let's talk about those. Those are very important topics at this point. So just play it cool, okay?
I appreciate that opinion, especially if you'd like to hold it against me.
She
under my breath, I'm like, mind reader.
Shenson looks over at you, Feld, and just kind of like.
I'm just gonna turn away and walk outside because I can't. I can't.
Can't even.
Yeah.
That is what the cool kids say, correct?
Corvus. You're really going to traffic with a drow here, Corvus? A drow.
Which voice is this? Is this still Dad, or is this?
Oh, this is not Dad. This is. You're actually not quite sure who this is. Give me a wisdom check.
While it's going on, I'm going to help Tarafirith load up all these objects that we've found into the quiver of holding as
Mhm.
you know, our travel pack, so that we
Okay.
can sell them when we get back to the city.
Copy that.
And I'm gonna take the necklace and tie it to my belt. The symbol.
The Periapt? Oh,
No,
the unholy symbol.
the unholy symbol, and search the other bodies to see if there's anything else that any other clues, any marks, any tattoos, any particular things on these creatures.
Okay. I will tell you this, that you do find you find that as you examine this symbol closer, the triangle itself seems to also be a part of the symbol. It's not just these three these three sigils painted on a thing. It looks like that the whole, even the triangle base of it seems to play some sort of important part, but you can't quite figure out what yet. It would be something to definitely ask the High Priestess about. Yeah, Corvus, you could tell that this is the voice of that whom you owe a blood favor.
That's so
That-
last chapter.
Yeah.
Blood favors.
Yeah. This sounds like the voice of your goddess. That's who you've come to realize this might be. A drow, really?
What?
What? Oh, did you just fall off the apple cart? Did you
Maybe.
fall out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down? I mean, obviously you did, yes, but clearly when you landed on your head, clearly when you landed on your head, that it must have addled what little brains you have up there. Drow are infamous, notorious liars and assassins who worship heathen spider goddesses. This is not a creature to be trusted. And yet I can see your thoughts, and sir, this is a public tavern.
Not anymore.
Well, that's for certain. But that's
I have
still...
a feeling if I was in the zone of truth, you'd be setting it off again anyway.
What? That wasn't me. I'll just let you know that was not me. It's a little crowded in here, Greysoul.
Yes.
It's a little
It is
crowded
a
in
little
here.
crowded, yeah.
I'm going to have. I'm having to elbow, having to fight for elbow room here with someone who claims to be your father. Now he claimed that he's your patron. He claims that he's your patron and that you're worshiping him now instead of me. I'm going to get jealous. We haven't had a chance to talk about this.
Really haven't had a chance to talk about much, and
I know you're a very busy bee, Corvus. I'm very upset with you. I'm vexed. I do not like being vexed.
could vacate the vexing premises.
Oh,
Take that other jerk with you too.
Your father?
No, the other one.
What other one? Which one is the better question?
Isn't there another dickwad in my head that's always talking shit?
You hear him say that out loud, by the way, as he's just muttering to himself. And Shensen looks over at him and then looks at Seneca and kind of points at him with a questioning look, like, does he? Okay.
You're all doing great.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Shensen. Just as you commune with your god, so does Greysoul. Only Greysoul has conversations. And I can only hear one side of the conversation sometimes, and it doesn't sound nice or good. So just be thankful.
Seneca, I need a smart insult. What do you got for me?
A smart incel?
Insult.
Oh, insult. Okay, I was like, a smart insult. There's no such thing.
What an oxymoron.
Yeah.
To what are you insulting?
Broadband. Just give me something good. Big words that no one understands.
All right. if you were any more loquacious, I'd have to be nocturnal to keep listening.
Yeah, did you hear that? If you're any more ludicrous, I'd have to be what?
Loquacious and nocturnal.
Nocturnally.
Forget it, Greysoul. The moment has passed. The moment has passed. But I will tell you this, Greysoul. I don't like the idea that you are trying to be a servant of two masters. You're going to need to pick one. I'm just saying. So you can either continue to worship me, or you can run off with Daddy here. And I will give you until tomorrow with your morning prayers. Tell me who you pick.
All right. Be that way.
I'm a god. I will be whatever the fuck way I want.
But you're really Leira?
Fuck around and find out. And you feel you feel like the of a disconnection.
Bitch.
So by this point, I have the body loaded up on my awesome steed. Are we ready to go? The road is long, and we need to get on with this adventure.
To make sure that I'm totally clear from the loot thing, we scoured this entire place for anything of value. We checked everything during the downtime where we were not playing off screen.
Everything on the top floor, not
I
like
will
where
say
she was.
that you guys also have. I mean, Brick took some time and actually searched upstairs as well. And I will say that in the well room, Shensen mentioned that she has a couple of wands on her, and those are wands of her own spells. One of them being a wand of Fang, and the other being a magic Fang, and the other one being a wand of Entangle.
Awesome.
So
I'm also going to use a Ray of Frost that I have now to go and clear up that brown mold.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, you go down and you power wash the brown mold away.
It's like all I'm good for, really. It's just power washing things.
Yeah.
You upload it to Reddit. Everyone thinks it's oddly satisfying.
Yeah. you get 1,000 upvotes in the first hour though. That's pretty awesome. You know.
Titled Cat Sprays Hotel.
Yep. So, you set back going to Cauldron, and it's a little slower going as you go through the slog. The rains are torrential, and it actually makes for miserable travel. But you do manage to come back. It takes you about, what would normally be an 8-hour journey takes you about a full 12 hours. You come in, Cat ASMR, yes. Seneca's ASMR channel is just purring sounds. I love it. You do manage to reach the gates of Cauldron as the sun is going down. And the guards see you returning. It's still wet and miserable. And what you notice is that even from the outside, you could see that the city is lacking the joviality of the Flood Festival. The water is coming down to the point where there's nobody left in the streets. The guards are miserable at their posts. And there's nobody around. And yeah, as you come in on the high ridge, and you can actually look into the center, look down from the top into the center of the cauldron. And yeah, you could swear that the water levels are rising and they're getting dangerously close to the first street. The guards do make you pay a tax to re-enter the city. And it's gone from a couple of copper to a full silver piece per person.
How are
Not
you
me, I'm a
charging
resident.
more to enter a flooding city?
Mayor's orders.
We should be charging for people to leave.
Well, we're doing that too. We're charging a gold to leave, but it's a silver to get out right now, so or to get in right now. So it's mayor's orders. New
Are
tax,
we
just
are
passed
we
it.
not on any list of discounts or covered entry?
Nope.
As
this is for residential re-entry. For anyone who is not resident here, it's a full gold to enter. So yes, you're on the discount list, sir.
I see, and I give them my silver.
Okay.
Yeah, can I just toss them a gold to cover everyone else?
Sure.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
You know, the quickest way to
I mean, at
win
this point,
re-election is to tax everyone every time they go anywhere.
He's not an elected leader. He's appointed by the small council. So yeah, he doesn't have to be elected at this point. He's mayor for life until he pisses somebody off.
Wow.
Yeah. Until he pisses somebody important off. Let's put it that
He
way.
just pissed off the brute squad.
Oh no, his bodyguards. Oh no.
Well,
okay,
as
so
you
now
return-
we have to plan to get the small, just all of us on the small council. We just need to become. That's like next step after this.
We are the
So
small council.
instead of destroying the hierarchy, you're trying to now just assume control of it. That is one way to overthrow it. Is to overthrow it from within. Okay. So you start heading back to the church. The water is running down the cobblestones, washing everything away. And as the old saying goes, shit does flow, in fact, flow downhill. And as the water rises at the center of the bowl, everything starts flowing into it. And you can see layers of detritus across the top. And it's a mess. Yeah, the water actually makes traversing the city because the streets are on like a 30-degree angle. It makes it actually very slippery and difficult to make back there. So it takes some time. It takes longer than usual, but you do manage to get back to the church. Brother Rufus is at the gates and opens the makeshift door immediately to let you all in. And he immediately runs to fetch the acting high priestess, Jenya.
I speak words of celestial to my mount Dawn, and take the body of the high priest down, and I say, point to where the stable is. I asked Brother Rufus to let the stable hands know that this is my mount, and I carry his body into the temple, into the church.
Okay. Yeah. So they take Dawn and put him into the stables, and stable boys immediately take good care of him. The high priestess, the acting high priestess, comes in. She sees you with Sarson's body, and I take it you were too late.
Yes, and the wands are gone, and there seems to be more players on the field. Where would you like for us to place his body? There's much more that we need to discuss.
Indeed. Let us put him in repose in the center temple. Put him on the altar, and we shall prepare a funeral mass. The mace.
Yes, I have.
Recover it?
Yes, I have it with me.
Pardon me for being blunt, but may I?
Yes.
Thank you. She takes it and she seems almost kind of uncomfortable with the heft of this weapon in her hand. And she's blinking back tears as she kind of sighs and hitches it onto her belt. I suppose I am acting High Priestess no more. I now hold the power and authority of the Church of Helm within the city of Cauldron. Helm guide us all.
Helm guide us all.
She gives some orders to some acolytes to prepare a funeral service for the next morning. In the meantime, she sets up a team to stand vigil over the body overnight. And then she says, "Come, let us sit, and you must be tired and hungry after your journey. I'm certain that there is much to discuss here. And your friend," she introduces herself to Shensen, and they exchange some pleasantries. And Shensen at this point says, "I am grateful for your..." Don't have a way to really differentiate these voices right now. I'm having trouble. So I am grateful for your guiding me, your escort back to the city here. I must find the other Striders. I will be. Your kindness will not be forgotten, and I will be in touch. Perhaps even as soon as on the morrow. But I will ask about on your behalf to see if there's anything we can do to assist. Thank you. But now I must take my leave." And she bows and exits. So, yes, you guys go into the kitchen and around that familiar dining table, the table that you have whiled away so many hours eating and planning at. And even with the solemnness of the occasion, Jenya sets about to business almost immediately. So she sits down, orders up a pot of coffee, and the cooks immediately set about that. And she looks at you and says, "What happened?"
From what we gathered from our friend there, at around dawn, there was an assault of baboons led by a woman in spiked armor. Did she say human? Did she give a description? She gave
Human woman with red hair and face tattoos.
A human woman with face tattoos and cropped red hair, and a were monkey that I struck down. In his normal form, he would be a half orc. He had this symbol upon him, and I hold up or take off my belt. I did not recognize.
She kind of jumps at the gathering of signs on it. It's like, well, that is a disgusting and profane item.
The thing we're trying to find out or figure out is we know that the eight wands of control water are valuable in and of themselves, and will be more and more valuable as items of ransom as the water continues to fall. We don't know whether this is simply to extort the elders of the city for more gold, or whether they're simply stolen for other profit, or if there's something broader at play.
Huh.
But they seem to kill everything in the town. The priestess who you met and high priest fought their way into a last-ditch position, and he placed her into... He sacrificed himself to save her.
I see. Well, and the wands are obviously gone.
The wands are missing, and we were unable due to the deluge of water to be able to find any tracks to follow this woman with the face tattoos.
I think you're right, though. I think there is something to be said about who these wands would be valuable to. They would be incredibly valuable to the churches here, to the elders, to the council. The council, by the way, has been in much disarray since the attack on the festival the other night. Things have changed rapidly, and Tasker Hill now has a seat on the small council. She's assumed her father's seat, and is already flexing her newfound powers within the city.
In what way?
Well, there's talk of an increased security presence to put down this uprising, as this was very clearly a civil uprising of the small folk. There's talk of increased security about, especially for the nobles.
And the Tasker Hill is responsible for the increased security?
That's what she demanded. So, since her father is missing, she's also demanding a full investigation. I would not be surprised if, and at that point, you hear a knock at the front door. After a moment or two, Brother Rufus comes in and says, excuse me, friends. Captain Skellerang is at the door. He says he knows the brutes are here and he wishes to speak with them. It's about the other night.
I look to the High Priest S now. Do you wish for us to speak with him now, or is there anything else? This is a broader matter that we are discussing.
Please, brother, please tell the captain that he can wait in the antechamber, and we shall be with him shortly. And Brother Rufus nods and bring him some coffee, please. The weather is fit for neither man nor beast. The least we could do is show him some kindness. After all, he came all the way over here from, I'm assuming, the barracks. Poor man, probably half frozen to death at this point. He nods and fixes a cup of coffee, black the way the captain likes it, and brings it out. Yes, there have been. She turns and looks at Brick specifically and says, "There are many who wish to speak with you, my friend. For you apparently were the last to see Lord Tasker Hill alive, and there are many who wish to have your account of what happened before you fell, as there are many questions at this point. And since Brick is being played by Sir not appearing in this episode, we shall deal with that a little bit later on, out of game speaking. But so we need. I do believe that you are correct, though, Sir Feldruucan, that the wands are most valuable to us. I have received no word of ransom yet, but that doesn't mean that those in charge, or that maybe the city elders or anyone else hasn't may have heard word. It's worth investigating. This symbol, though, is quite perturbing. We need to research this. We need to know what is at play here.
Where would you suggest is the best place to research such things? Our library or the...
we do have some tomes, perhaps.
Or the Blue Crater Academy.
I believe here. We can look here and see what we can do. But you said that they were led by a woman?
That was the account from our friend, the Striders. That they appeared to be commanded by two individuals, a were baboon, who I can only assume is the one that I struck down, who was commanding the baboons that we fought, and this woman with the cropped red hair and face tattoos and spiked armor.
Interesting.
It seems like a rather loud appearance. I have not heard of such a person, but perhaps those who have traveled a bit more, perhaps maybe Sky or anyone who has traveled far and wide, keep their fingers on the pulse, any traveling minstrels, etc. Perhaps they might have heard of such an individual. I can't imagine there are many
I think if you were to go out and ask perhaps some of our contacts and connections, maybe they would yield some information worth an investigation tomorrow in the day. There are other things we can try, but we have to locate these wands as soon as possible. For as you must have already noticed the fact that the waters are rising. We will be in a full-blown emergency soon.
Yes.
Give me Lorenzo and Greysoul. Give me an insight check. All right.
How dare you beat me by 3?
All right. Let me, before you say, Lorenzo, you're going to get the note first. Before you say anything, let me send it off to Matt as well, because I don't want one person spoiling it for the other. All right. And okay. Yeah. So these are those are thoughts that your insight checks have actually caused you to pop into your head as you consider this situation. Oh, and Tara, give me a. Actually, Paul, give me an insight, and Tara, give me an insight.
I'm in the corner growing mushrooms.
Got it. Yep, and Tara, you're
Yeah.
you're
Sort of what I
you're
was thinking.
Yeah, you're kind of thinking about different people that you could try to reach out to that might know somebody who knows somebody, but you're having trouble coming up with anything. So, yeah, those are the thoughts that have recently occurred to all you guys. Yeah.
I say to now High Priest. Well, in our do they have to be elected or appointed, or is it Is it on your way? I mean, I guess until should be acting High Priest until somebody else from higher up says different.
What's that?
So acting High Priest Janya is now High Priest Janya. Is that our standard style, or is it until somebody who's higher was like appoints?
No, she's. I mean, the thing is that she was appointed to take care of the church in High Priest Delisharm's stead.
Yeah.
Now High Priest Delisharm is dead, so therefore her appointment just became permanent. That's kind of how the right of succession has worked in the past.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she's not happy about this, but she was looking forward to the idea of handing responsibility back off, and now it looks like that's not going to happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can already tell that, and that she's even privately expressed that to you.
High Priest, perhaps we should consult with the Star of Justice, as this does seem to be a matter of.
It's what I was thinking
sufficient.
as well. That thought had occurred to me as well. I believe that we will be at a point where we can consult it tomorrow, as a matter of fact. As you know, that we can only consult it from time to time.
Yes.
But I believe tomorrow we will be able to make that consultation. Perhaps there are other ways that we can go about finding some information. I'm at a loss, friends. If we can't find these wands, I don't know what we're going to do.
Is there no one with the kind of power necessary to be able to cast these spells at will?
No, it would take incredibly powerful. It would take a number of incredibly powerful casters. The wonderful thing about the wands was that with the amount of charges that we could muster from them, we would be able to control enough of the water to keep the tide abated. But we are not in a position to do that now. And no caster would be able to expend that amount of consistent power throughout the day. They would be exhausted within minutes.
Is there no help from the other churches?
Not this time. They... The other churches, it's interesting. The need for these wands has lessened greatly over the last few years. We were the only ones who invested in this year, as a matter of fact. They were all aware. The only ones who were aware that we were going to do this were the members of the small council and the other churches. Now, it's common knowledge that the churches prepare these every year, and they have been. It's tradition. But they were the only ones that knew that we were the ones doing it this year, because the other churches didn't want to make the investment. They didn't want to invest the time or resource or money necessary to have these crafted. So we bore the expense and the burden alone. And now they're regretting it, because clearly we've had mild winters for the last several years, but this year, as you can see, is already getting to be quite hellish. Our time is growing short.
So it appears once again that there is someone on the small council that has darker motives for the city.
Now that I am not saying, but I'm just saying that they were the one that those were the parties that were obviously in the first circle of informed.
Yes. All I'm saying
Who
is
would
we
know
seem
the travel plans of the former high priest?
Well, only I did. And those and some of my subordinates here in the Church of Helm, but that being said, there could be a number of ways to track these down. If people knew what they were looking for, they could find it via scrying or other magics. There are a number of divination magics that could have been used to track the high priest.
And whenever the wands are purchased, they're always purchased from the same city?
Not purchased. We had them commissioned and manufactured.
Where?
But Sasserine, yes.
But every year when they are commissioned and fashioned, they are commissioned and fashioned there, correct?
Yes, correct.
So someone could have just waited for someone to come and pick them up, work on the information there.
Yep.
Well, it appears as though those of us who have people to reach out to, perhaps we should do that. We will consult the Star of Justice tomorrow when we can. I will go to the library here within the church to do some research on this necklace.
Okay. If you're gonna, and then you've got the captain as well.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think we're gonna call it here because it's 9:53 and we're also down the player in question. But I will tell you this: Paul, I'm going to let you make another religion check with advantage right now, as you do eventually get to the library that night. Yeah.
17.
What you have managed to find is that these churches all hate each other, and there's no reason why any of them should ever be working together. Yeah, you don't find any information in these books in particular. What is your religion bonus? -1. So you're not proficient in religion.
I am not proficient in history.
But you rolled religion, right?
Yes.
All right, and you got a -1 on that?
Yes, because that's because intelligence is my dump stat.
Got it. Okay. You
part of why the standard array is nonsense.
You're probably smart enough to bring somebody more book smart along with you. Who's got the best religion bonus here?
I got a +3.
+3?
I also have a +3, but I always roll that at disadvantage.
Got it. Birch, what's your religion bonus?
I imagine us looking to see if there's any god big enough or bad enough to force these three others to work together.
Copy that. All right. Birch,
I'm only a +1.
+1. Tara, do you have religion?
I'm also a +3.
+3. Okay. And Lorenzo, not much of a godly.
0.
Person. 0. Got it. All right. So here's what I want. If you guys are going to go search for this, and Feld, you're going to ask for help because, yeah. Tara, you've got Bard Inspiration.
And I have guidance.
Guidance. And yeah, so who wants to make the roll? And what we're going to do is we'll do guidance plus bardic inspiration. Plus, I'm going to experiment here. And instead of just rolling straight proficiency, we're going to try the proficiency die. Okay, this is a variant rule from the DMG. And if you've got a +2 proficiency, you roll a D4 instead of adding a +2. If you've got a +3, you roll a D6. So who wants to roll for me? Either Greysoul, Seneca, or Tara. Who wants to roll for me a D20 plus a D6 proficiency die plus a D6 bardic inspiration plus a D4 guidance?
Lauren, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
I'm out because I'll be at a disadvantage with an intelligence check, so I'm a bad option.
Got it.
This.
All right.
And you know what? You can roll it with advantage because Sir Feldruucan's initial roll of 17 was good enough to help.
Okay. All right. So what am I rolling again?
All right. So here I'll roll it via the formula.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and roll religion with advantage?
Hold on a second. And then I'm going to roll it again for the advantage. So 1d20 plus 2d6 plus 1.
Well, it can't get much worse than that one.
Yeah. That was pretty rough. 2, 3, 2, 2. Really?
Yeah.
1d20 plus 2d6 plus 1d4. 28.
There you go.
Okay. So with your advantage, Tara, as you're going through the library with him, you find you're scrolling. You guys are thumbing through a couple of old tomes, and the further back you get, you find you're going through a copy of Tobin's Spirit Guide, followed by the Necronomicon, followed by what's something else. But then you find a tome called Heresy and the Heretical Heretics that Preach Heresy. The
Book of Vile Deeds, the thing you were looking for?
Yeah, Book of Vile Deeds, yeah. You find this book of heretics and heresy, and you're flipping through it kind of casually, because at this point you guys have been looking for a few hours.
Can we also recruit the assistance of that one guy who helped us before?
Oh, sure, yeah. No, and as you're looking around,
whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, I will have to look him up. I really need to start taking better notes on my NPCs. You do find a crude drawing that seems to match the symbol in one of these tomes.
Interesting.
And underneath it, it simply says the Ebon Triad.
Okay. There's nothing else, just the name.
As you flip the page, you do find a series of notes on an ancient organization called the Ebon Triad, and it seems to be made up of heretics of each of the churches of Bane, Cyric, and Vecna, who claim that they are not individual deities, but actually aspects of individual aspects of a greater over-deity of death and all things evil. And that,
no one cared who I was till I joined the triad.
That's correct. An over-deity of unsurpassed malevolence that remains, whose name is enshrouded in mystery.
So
that's what you found. And these cultists, they are a cult. These cultists are commonly hunted by the main churches.
So then, if that's true, then the high priestess should have heard of the Ebon Triad. Is that what you said?
Well, this is a very dusty and old tome, and she has not read all the books here in the library. And
well, no, but if the major churches,
no, the parent churches of Bane, Cyric, and Vecna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Those
I was
churches want to kill these guys on site. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Those churches want to have, and this is like a small passage that you find. It's a message, it's a mention basically, but they talk about how it's a very small group, and that they're branded as heretics even amongst the evil churches.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't sit around and talk with them. We just smite them, so we don't know about their.
Pretty much.
They're members that don't think they're evil enough.
Yeah.
Yep. So with that,
we're too evil.
It is 1:00 in the morning for poor Adam. So we're gonna call it there as you guys managed to make this discovery of the Ebon Triad. And we will be back. We will be back next week. Thank you guys, everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. Amazing Otto, JS Pelta. Hey, JS Pelta, I know that you would actually try registering for a session of Barrow Maze. I definitely want to host you in October. Let's go on ahead and make that happen. I'm very, very excited to start running games again.
All right.
We will see you all. We'll see you guys back next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 7 to 10. And thank you all so much for coming. Once again, my name is Greg. I've been your dungeon master this evening. These are the Brutes. If you want to book me to run a game like this for you, you can book me at mastermindadventures.com. I'm going to start running games again. Starting this coming Friday, I'm reopening my calendar. I got to sit and update it tonight, but I will be reopening my calendar. Let's go on ahead and do some mega dungeon crawling. All right, and until then, we'll see you next Monday night. And until then, guys, roll them 20s. All right, y'all. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back next week.
Bye.